movie podcast ever recorded. And today, we're bounty hunting for the devil. It's time for Ghost Rider. Let's go!
Strider.
In the sky.
Oh, man.
They played that music.
I know. Twice.
Music's decent in this, I felt like. Look, we have the table decked out today in the ways that we don't normally. We've got literally freaking Ghost Rider here on the table, flaming chain and all. We've got a margarita glass filled with jelly beans. So, like, we're ready to go.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys all for being here for Ghost Rider 2007, voted through. We had a pre-MCU comic book movie poll. And this one, not just one, it blasted all the other movies like Fantastic Four, the Jessica Alba one, the Ang Lee Hulk. It's just not even close.
Nope.
Ghost Rider 2007. So here we are. Mattila is in the house. What's up, man?
I am so excited to talk about this movie that we can go through this. We can close the episode out after this very short.
It's time. We're going to end it right now?
Right now, because here's how it is.
Okay.
If you don't listen to the words, then it's great.
Got it.
Anytime Samuel Jackson's talking, just don't listen to what he's saying, and you're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
When was Samuel L. Jackson?
He's not in it.
Or not Samuel Jackson. Sam Elliott.
Okay, those
guys are like the same. They're the same.
I'm not sure we should end the episode there. I'm not sure we should go with that.
Sam Elliott's like, does he look like a bitch?
And then over here, sporting a much better comic book movie on his T-shirt, we got the Human Movie Database, Ryan Farrell, in the house.
Hey, what's happening?
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
You know we can't do a Mark Steven Johnson comic book movie without you here.
I'm aware.
So welcome back.
Lord, am I aware.
Thank you for being. And Dave also we're sporting an Arnold shirt. So
Yeah,
media
it's
brownie
hard
points.
to see because I have rolls, but yeah. It's,
You just got to look between the nipples.
It makes Arnold look like he has rolls when you wear that shirt, actually. So
Well, it was his best role, if you're asking me.
All right.
nice. Well,
Get a jelly
welcome.
bean.
Welcome in. I'm excited to dive into this movie. I haven't seen this since the theaters in 2007 was the last time I watched this movie. Was this a first time watch for any of you?
So last time I saw it was also in theaters in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just never felt the need to go back to it.
There might have been a reason for it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see as
We'll
we
see.
get into this. How about you, Dave?
No, this was on a rotation back in the day.
Regularly?
When I got it on DVD, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Wow.
Mattila?
All right.
I know you don't watch cool stuff.
I've seen it once before this.
Oh, you had?
Yeah.
What a damn miracle.
Where'd you see it?
In my house.
Oh, okay.
Not in theaters.
Not in theaters.
Okay.
No.
We also have a guest here. Before we dive into the vitals, I do want to introduce over at the kids' table, Brian Draws Movies is here. Hello, sir.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a short visit from what I understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna bail soon.
So let's just dive right into it right now. They have an exciting announcement, Dave and Brian here. What do you want to tell the folks at home about what's coming up?
Well, we're gonna start our own show here.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of the BMR universe. It will be called the Samurai Movie Jam, and it will deal with newer movies that have just come out in theaters, stuff that's going to be out streaming on Netflix and that kind of thing. We will be reviewing that and then having a spoiler discussion, which will be on Patreon.
Yeah.
And we're super excited about it, right?
Yep, they're gonna be going on Mondays. I think the first one's gonna be the 19th of May.
Awesome.
If you want to know why it's called Samurai Movie Jam, you can listen to the first one.
That's right.
And we'll
That's
explain
a teaser. That's a good teaser. They're definitely going to want to listen to it now.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
Dave and I love going to movies together and figured, hey, after we're done, instead of talking in the parking lot, let's go talk at the BMR studio.
That's right.
Nice.
Well, you guys can all listen to what we shit about. And the first movie is going to be Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So excited to see it. I haven't yet, and but I hear it's great. So,
Hey, another comic book movie almost as good as Ghost Rider.
well, I hope it's better than Ghost Rider.
Well, that's cool. And you guys are getting two shows for the price of one because the first half of the show is going to be on our main feed. So right where the mailbags and the BMR episodes drop, you'll see on Mondays, Samurai Movie Jam, twice a month, I think about, right?
Yep.
And then
Every other week.
the spoiler half of it, you can go on our Patreon, patreon.com/badmoviesrule, and hear the rest of it. So it's going to be a good time. I'm excited, guys.
Yeah. Us too. It's going to be really great.
Yeah.
And
Can't wait.
if it isn't, it'll be a short time, but it won't be. It's going to be great.
If it sucks, they'll tell you. I've learned that. They'll tell you straight away.
If it sucks, we'll tell ourselves.
Well, Brian didn't want to watch Ghost Rider, so he
No, I
can't
watched
stay.
Catwoman instead, so
Yeah, you were hoping that
Much
one won.
better.
I've got it paused. I'm going to go back and watch the rest of it.
Perfect. So have a
I
great
know
rest
which
of your
part.
night, Brian. Thank you. Brian is going to take
Bye,
off.
Brian.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
sir.
coming.
And we can dive into the vitals here for Ghost Rider, as I already spoiled. It's directed and written by Mark Steven Johnson. And Farrell, what was it the last movie we did that was directed and written by him?
The classic Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Oh, what a great
Yes.
movie.
Yeah,
so
because
good.
he did so well with that.
They're
They
like-
figured, you know what? This is going to be our MCU heavy hitter. Who knows Kevin Feige? Nah, forget about him.
No.
Let's go Mark Steven Johnson.
Right.
Watching this, I was getting strong Daredevil vibes, and I had no
There's a
idea
reason.
that was the same director.
Oh, yeah, same guy wrote and directed it. And what's hilarious is I picture Kevin Feige, very young, backward baseball hat, sitting in the waiting room at Marvel or wherever he is, waiting for his chance, and they're in the boardroom going, we could give this new kid a shot. Or what if we let the Daredevil guy do another one?
Because nothing went wrong in that whole debacle. So he'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
That had to be it, too. Like
it
Kevin
had to.
Feige's sitting there because he was an associate on.
Yeah.
He's been an associate with
He was in the game.
the MCU. Like he was there for Ang Lee's Hulk and for Mark
X-Men.
Steven Johnson for X-Men, right? So it had to be.
1 year later, we have Iron Man in 2008. So they could have started it right here with Ghost Rider, but no.
They gave MSJ one more
Well,
shot.
It was a Fox movie though, wasn't it?
This one?
Yeah.
Sony,
Or this was Sony?
Columbia. So it would have been in the same realm of
the same
Spider-Man.
Yeah, which they ended up, playing nice in the sandbox eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So we
They
could
got
have
all this
seen
back though.
Tom Holland swinging next to Nick Cage going down the street.
Ooh.
Come
It
on.
would have been
man.
Yeah.
it would have been Tobey Maguire though.
It would have. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Which would have been really great.
I was gonna say a Tobey Maguire, Nick Cage team up.
Yeah.
Please.
Come on now.
We have not
chew
been
the
good enough
scenery
for God
more.
to bless us
That-
with such nice things.
Has MTV Kiss Award winner written all over it.
Yeah.
Do you think they would keep Nick Cage for it though?
I think if it had done, it's all money, man. Well, which we'll get to in a second here. So the movie, as we know, starred Nick Cage, Ava Mendes, Sam Elliott, Peter Fonda, and Wes Bentley of Yellowstone and Hunger Games fame. The budget for this movie was, and here's why I wanted to get to this to answer your question, $110 million, which was budgeted at first far less. And then Nick Cage demanded certain things happen a certain way and ballooned the budget up to $110 million.
How many jelly beans did he need?
Was more about how they were going to shoot things that would just made it more expensive, and he wanted to be a Ghost Rider done not on a soundstage and not green screened
Yeah.
and all this stuff, and
Yeah. Him also, Nick Cage being a big Ghost Rider fan.
yes,
So you got to wonder how much
He had
at the end
strong
of the day,
feelings
He had very strong feelings about this movie, and we see how his feelings.
and he was still big enough pull at that point to write his own tickets, and
This was like his last swing for the fences for his career, if you look at it, because right after this, it really went
independent movie hell
down
basically.
into independent. I mean, he's had his gems in the last
Sure.
12 years or so, but this was it.
No,
I
you're
mean,
right.
2007. That was the last year of box office Nicolas Cage.
But out of a $110 million budget, this thing only made $220 million, which sounds like a lot, but not with that kind of budget, and it's not going to get it done. So it's just a money thing, Ryan. If they had made a buttload, if they had Iron Man money out of Ghost Rider, hell yeah, Nick Cage would have played this part 6 times,
Yeah.
right?
They made a second one, but it was what, 8 years later that
Yeah,
they
I
did
think
it?
so.
Yeah.
5.
5?
Yeah,
Okay.
2012.
Never saw the second one.
Me neither.
4.3 on IMDb.
You know that we're going to be watching it sometime soon,
100%.
James.
Yep, that's going to happen. This one,
Great.
this one's a 5.3, which isn't all that high either. That's in Tank Girl and Hands of Steel territory.
Sounds about right.
5.3. And guess what other movie was a 5.3? Daredevil.
stand in the rain and say it.
At least he's got nice grouping.
No, so they got exactly what they paid for. Right. Like, I'll deliver you a 5.3 action or a superhero movie like clockwork.
Yeah.
That's what you want. I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And were they chasing Blade or Spider-Man here?
Probably Spider-Man at this point.
It's gotta be Spider-Man.
Because that money Spider-Man raked in earlier in the same decade was like everybody wanted it.
But Blade started this, right?
Yes.
And then Spider-Man made it worse, and then the garbage chute opened up, and here came Daredevil, and
This was the end of the garbage chute.
Fantastic Four and all that stuff.
This was the end of the garbage chute because Fantastic Four, that was 2005.
Right.
Ang Lee's Hulk was 2003.
Yep.
Silver
Then
Surfer.
this one.
Silver Surfer was 2007.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then once the MCU started, then DC got their act together. They're like, oh, crap. we better
make a movie.
do something.
We better just make a movie because all we've been doing is Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
The movie currently sits at a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 48% audience score. So slightly less than half the audience likes it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Man, that is a tipped over box of popcorn.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
With shit in it.
Well, hopefully that if you've been listening to BMR for a long time, you know, we're about a tipped over box of popcorn, if that was what, in terms of podcasts out there. But I'm glad that you're still listening. After all this time, you for whatever reason, hung in with us. Thank you. This is the final episode before the end of our big Patreon push. May 19th is only 3 days away. So make sure, if you haven't yet, guys, you wanted to wait till the last minute. Here it is. It is the last minute, to quote Stanley from Spadowski from UHF, right? So hop on patreon.com/badmoviesrule. See if we can get to our goal. We're looking for 1,000 patrons by May 19th. But, even if we don't get there, people have really been responding. They've been signing up. It's been awesome. We're probably going to give out at least 1 or 2 of these awards. Maybe not all 4 of the ones that we've been talking about, but we're going to do maybe even a 12-person episode. We have the whole cast in here, or we're going to shoot a short film, Green Baywatch, a 2026 BMR photo calendar. Man, I can't wait to see Farrell in a bikini. It's going to be awesome.
I can wait. I can wait a little. I love you, but it's just not.
Who said there was even going to be a bikini?
Well, I thought that's okay.
That's why I can wait.
He's going to be a centerfold.
Mankini.
Just a bathtub full of balloons.
Just the towel, like a towel hanger.
Might just be my hands.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Oh, we could Janet Jackson it.
There you go.
I'll stand behind you.
Who's going to be left and right handed? Okay. Nice. Perfect. Well, look,
Just put my bald head on your shoulder.
if you want to see Ryan in a banana hammock, sign up now. If that doesn't drive signups, I don't know what will.
Now we're at 2,000.
Yes. Other ways to reach out to the show, you can email us at thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, or you can call us 262-757-8567. Leave us a voicemail. We'll get back to both of those on one of our mailbag segments. All right. Before we get forward, let's pay some bills. All right. Here we go. Time to dive in. Sometime in the Old West.
The Old West.
Pick up the pace.
The Ghost Rider reneges on a deal with the devil. They're supposed to give him the scroll that had 1,000 evil souls from San Venganza.
Oh, good. I'm glad you remember that, because I was like, where was that scroll from? And I watched it today.
It's Mephistopheles. It's not necessarily Satan, but if I say the devil, it's just shorthand. Don't freak out.
Ready? I'll nerd this out for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mephistopheles was Mephisto, which is one of the lords of hell. It's not necessarily Satan, but he was one of the 70 whatever lords of hell.
Right.
And he had a bunch of fallen kids and demons and whatever that worked for him.
The hidden.
Which
is what
I
Sam
think
Elliott
the
calls
hidden
them.
were fallen angels too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know.
They were a bunch
Were they
of
not?
bitches too.
No,
but
I think they were sent down there by St. Michael, according to Sam Elliott's Expo Cowboy.
fallen angels by this stained glass window.
That's right. So anyway, he had to outrun the devil, and the Ghost Rider reneged on the deal and took off on his flaming horse. And I don't mean his horse was gay. I mean it was a flaming horse.
And I
It's
think
just like,
that
we gotta go. Hey, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Bye, bitch.
It's just David from Schitt's Creek.
David. No, I was just going to say that I feel like a Lord of Hell should be able to catch up to a horse. It wasn't running that fast. Like,
So all I took from this expo dump was like, okay, so it's all his fault. This whole thing. It's
Right.
this cowboy's fault.
I suppose.
Right?
But what? Well, not this whole thing, because now it's hundreds of years later.
150 years later, but this is the reason we're in the pickle that we're in now, right?
So he's the only Ghost Rider that's done this.
Yeah,
So Nick Cage would be screwed still as a Ghost Rider.
I suppose. But would he need the new Ghost Rider to go get the other Ghost Rider?
Ooh.
There would be no.
This time.
Wait, it's got to be your bull.
There'd be no. Everything would have already been ruined by now.
Oh, because it would have been hell on earth.
Right.
Because all right, fair enough, fine.
Because if he gave him the scroll, if he had given him the scroll in the whatever,
What you do is you look at it,
1850.
throw that away because you don't need it, and just go, guys, remember that scroll? Let's go.
I didn't get it. I was like, why can there be two Ghost Riders? Isn't this a mantle from another demon?
I
or
think
something?
it is. Like, it passes from person to person.
Right. Ghost Rider is just like a demon inside of Johnny Blaze.
Right.
So if there's one in Salsa Guy,
Cowboy.
Expo Cowboy, then how can there be another one for this one?
Right.
That sounds like a better movie.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Salsa Demon Cowboy.
I bet you're wondering why I'm here, how I got here.
In this Ford F-150.
New York City.
Get a rope.
Yeah.
All right, so then it cuts to a carnival, and I'm like, of course Ghost Rider's a carny. Of course he is.
Yes. And gets called a carny too.
Right? And here is young Johnny Blaze with old Johnny Blaze, senior, who's a stunt, like an Evel Knievel type, bike jumper in the carnival. And young Johnny Blaze is showing off for this chick who's just like clapping on the sidelines. He's like, he's not even that good. He can't even do a wheelie over a pebble, right?
Right. He hit a rock. I would think that kind of comes with the territory if you're doing wheelies in a dirt tent.
Right.
But no.
Wasn't ready for there to be a rock.
Well, he also probably had a boner. So it's probably hard to pop a wheelie and a boner.
Threw off the weight distribution.
Yes.
The sun was in my eyes.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me. I know why you did it, son. I think he says to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly
Dad.
why you were distracted.
She grows up to be Ava Mendes, okay?
I thought that they did a pretty good job of making her look like a young Ava Mendes. You don't think so?
I think
Not identical.
when we
but
saw Ava Mendes later, I'm like, how'd she get so much more Hispanic than she was?
that's fair.
But otherwise, she looked just like her, just
Less Hispanic.
whiter.
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Far whiter.
Far,
Far
like a
whiter.
literal white person.
She
to a
moved down to
Hispanic
Mexico,
person.
okay?
Is that what it is? That's all you have to do. If I moved to Mexico, I'd come back up like, what's up,
See.
homie?
I got a beauty mark and a tan.
My cousin
and now
sent
I'm
me up
Ava
here.
Mendes.
What's up, man?
You just got to button that top button there.
That's it.
Got it.
Now
go.
you're yeah. It cuts to him and Roxanne at this tree. And he,
The love
It's
tree.
so adorable.
he carves J and R forever into the tree. A little tropey.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do they carve these so fast? Have you ever tried to do it?
Dude, I was imagining, I was like, and she's just been sitting there for 3 hours.
Right. Because it's pretty intricate. And
Johnny, when are we going to go get dinner? Johnny.
She says to him, my dad says we have to move in 2 days and that you're not good enough for me and I have to leave you. And I'd be like, I just carved forever into this tree.
You couldn't have told me this 3 freaking hours
That's
ago.
what I'm saying. You watch me do it.
It says forever.
Right.
Not for a couple more days.
Did you think I was saying Johnny and Roxy for real or what? What did you
For
think?
now?
For now? Right? For
now.
For 2 more days?
48 hours.
Jeez. That's probably why.
I thought that's what you were carving.
I know exactly why this took so long because
Yeah.
he was asking her, "Where do you want to eat?" And she was like, "I don't care."
You
and then
pick.
he started carving this in, and he's like, "Well, we're not leaving until you pick a place." And he got to carve that whole damn thing in the tree
Right.
before she said Taco Bell. Yeah, I was like, that was the first thing I said.
And then she said, I actually have to leave because you're not good enough for me because you won't pick a meal.
If you'd have picked Chili's, I would have stayed. But you picked Taco Bell.
He would have kept carving. They would have had their whole life story out of it.
Forever and ever and ever and ever. Yep.
Just say Chili's and let's get out of here.
Although Chili's,
You haven't figured out the hack yet, though.
yeah.
The hack, you know how to hack a woman's brain when that happens? You just say, oh, all right, we're going to dinner. Where are we going? You go, guess. And then wherever she says, you go, yep.
Yep.
You're really good at this game.
It's worked
Wow.
a few times.
There's a life
Really?
hack right
Yes.
there.
But
I
she
don't-
can't know about it.
No, if she knows the hack, because now she knows. Then now Dana goes, I know what you're doing. So, but it works a couple times, you know.
Well, Shannon, don't listen to this, but we're going to try that. I'm going to try that.
All right, guess where we're going
That's where
tonight.
we're going. And she's going to say, Culver's again. And I'm
"Yep."
like, if you want.
No, if you act excited, then
Oh,
she'll,
like it's a
she'll-
surprise to
it's a
her.
surprise.
Okay.
You go, no, really guess though.
No.
Yeah.
No. Come on, tell me. Guess for real. Yes, that's
We
it.
got all these scoops.
Perfect. All right. Johnny makes a deal to meet her the next day. Well, we'll just run away together, right? We'll, meet back here at the tree.
What could possibly happen overnight?
Nothing.
Right.
Finds out overnight dad has cancer.
As he's
Okay.
coughing up a lung and smoking a Mar bread.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonder how that
Drinking
happened.
up- Yeah, I don't see any problems here. And you left the note out. I didn't want to tell you, but here's the letter that says cancer's so bad. It's so bad.
Why was this pinned to my door?
Yeah. Why?
The letter.
I'm gonna take a nap. Listen, I left a note on the door. I got cancer. It's not gonna be fine.
My dad used to leave notes on paper plates around the house for
Yep.
people, so that's how I would have found out if you
Yeah.
had ever had it. He just would have wrote, "Got cancer. Be back at 5.
Dinner's in the oven.
Dinner's in the oven."
Yep.
For real. The devil shows up, so now Johnny's like fixing up his bike before they're going to leave the next day.
So what did he go back to the
went
circus?
back to the car.
He's like, Dad's got cancer. I better go clean my
Yeah.
Yeah.
brake piston.
And think about stuff.
Yeah.
Dad's got cancer.
It's
only way
his
I can-
dark brooding moment.
the only way I
Didn't
can
you
clear
see
my
his
head.
hair?
I've got to unfray my starter cable. His hair?
Can we talk about young Johnny Blaze now that we're here anyway?
Yes.
How does this guy not do a Nick Cage? Like, how do you not have him go, no, you gotta talk like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was such a big miss.
It was just a southern accent that this kid did, and
Right.
then Nicolas Cage carried on. And I'm not sure that Johnny Blaze was really from the South. Either.
That means somewhere along the line in his life, he just started talking like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, I didn't get it. I didn't get why he was like he said, my dad has cancer, but this carburetor isn't going to clean itself. So I'm going to go work on my bike. And then the devil shows up to
Right.
Georgia and says, hey, are you Johnny Blaze? Yeah. Are you a fan? And looked pretty chipper.
Looking super devilly. This is my issue with it, right? If you're trying to,
He's just walking down the carnival road and the light bulbs are exploding.
he's floating
As- yes,
into
yep.
his tent like, hello.
Hello.
As he floats in.
Hey. Don't mind this skull on my walking stick here.
And then every other time the devil's ever tried to get somebody to sign their soul over, he tries to do it in a way where you don't realize it's the devil that you're making a deal with.
What?
But bro is like, I'm pretty sure this is the damn devil.
Yeah, he could have had a label that said, hello, I am Lucifer. Because it was wearing it like a hat for sure.
When his creepy shadow came across.
The lightning and you see the shadow puppet.
And he doesn't really sign the thing either.
No.
He pricks his finger, the blood hits the line, and he goes, that'll do. And just pieces out of there. He's like, that's weird. But okay.
Hey!
Johnny is so like confused too. He's like, he seems like a real straight shooter. I don't know.
He's like, here, sign this bound in, human flesh scroll with devil horn insignia on it.
Yeah.
That seems to line up. All right.
All right.
I always see dragon's teeth when the lightning strikes. That's what happens every time.
What does it say? That's just about the Latin. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
I know.
You know I can't read.
I can't even read American.
I basically signed it, yeah.
Is that it? It's basically signed
I
it.
basically did. But guys, Dad's all better after this.
Yeah, right. Because he tells them, because the devil,
Yeah.
Mephistopheles.
He says the doctor looked at his x-rays and he's all clear. It's that morning.
No Did he run to the doctor in the morning and be like, holy cow, I feel amazing. I'm going to the doctor. And then he did an x-ray,
I need
cancer
x-rays at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Went to stopped at Taco Bell, then also drove through the MRI machine, and it spit out a receipt that said cancer free. He said, all right, let's get some Jack Daniels.
Yahoo, you believe this? Look at this, boy.
Yeah, and the way his son knows is like, Dad, you look great.
Yeah.
I feel great. Yeah.
I was going to tell you, I pinned a note to your door, but now I don't need to because I ain't sick no more, boy.
It's exactly the kind.
I was very scared to tell you.
Let's go jump through this ring of fire. Woo!
By the way, where are my cigarettes?
Bro, so Dad's dead. Immediately.
I don't feel like this is how you would go. He didn't the jump. He fell before he got to the ring of fire. That was the devil just kind of sweep the leg Johnny out there, or
Yeah, he put him in a body bag.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's what happened, man.
He button hooked him.
It's what he didn't
He wasn't
know. He didn't
expecting
know.
a
He
button
wasn't
hook.
expecting. He came up the ramp and he saw. He's like, "That's freaking Peter Fonda."
It was the same rock that gave little Johnny a boner that he tripped on.
That would
and
have
that's
been
what he fell
great.
through.
Just show him move the pebble.
Peter Fonda sneaks in his creepy shadow, puts the pebble on the ramp. And he runs away.
You'll never see this boner
Clicks
rock.
his heels
Bye.
together as he's running away, and that's
Yeah.
and that's how he dies.
And that whatever fisheye cut happens.
Right, exactly. You're mine now, Johnny. He even makes Johnny wipe out on the road right after this. He tries to drive away in sadness, and he freaking makes him wipe out on the road. You're mine now, Johnny Blaze. And his eyeball starts smoking, right, when he touches his chest.
And this is where we get the infamous Johnny Blaze finger point.
Oh, the first of many. Where he points with all 5 of his fingers.
Yes.
Is that an Elvis nod? Is that like a
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
One for the money, 2 for the show.
Right, because he gets off his bike. You.
5 of you. There's 5 of you. I'm seeing 5.
And 1 of me.
Right.
I like them all.
Getting a little bit too much of that Carney moonshine. He's drunk. Okay.
Because his hands are so small.
That's what it is.
These tiny ones.
He basically says that someday I'll call on you and you belong to me, and is put some kind of fire demon in him, and pieces out. He leaves.
Let me ask you a question. Hypothetical.
Sure.
If you're told by the devil, I got your soul, you can't have any love life or like whatever. You can't fall in love. You can't have any attachments. Do you become a stunt guy who jumps through rings of fire and is essentially a monk? Or do you just go balls to the wall and like, all right, we're doing this Hollywood style, I guess.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm thinking jelly beans. I think
That comes to mind.
are the way to go. I think we're just gonna tickle the devil's taint and only eat jelly beans. That's
This'll
what we're
piss
gonna
him
do.
off.
Right.
No. Later on, he's drinking him out of martini glass. I'm like, what are you, 9?
Yeah, I think this was a thing that Nicolas Cage
The jelly beans
asked
was.
for. Yeah.
He wanted it to be like him still being childlike or something.
Yeah.
So no one knows if it's actually comic book specific.
I
there.
don't think the jelly
Yeah.
beans has anything to do with comic books.
It was Nicolas Cage weird that happens all through this movie, and the only reason it makes any sense is because Nicolas Cage weird.
Yeah. No. There
you go.
That's accurate. That checks out.
Yeah.
Everybody got that?
Now, why pull up to the tree in the rain just to look at her and go, I just want you to know how sad I am. See you later.
A lot happened before noon that day.
Yes.
He was supposed to meet her at noon.
Yeah.
He his dad died. He tripped over the motorcycle. Devil showed up and
His
touched
dad got
his nipple.
X-rays. Yeah.
His dad got X-rays. A very busy morning, and he's just like, I don't have time to figure out where we're going.
And to top it all off,
Yeah.
it is now raining.
Yeah,
So it's honestly it's like a Channing Tatum from G.I. Joe moment, right?
it is.
The same kind of thing.
It's the
pulls
same
up.
thing. I mean, the same type of every moment in every movie ever of this type of like, this raining. It's raining. I've been waiting here. Oh, I've been waiting here in the rain. I'm all wet.
He just pulls up.
Yeah. Just
Without
like
a
that.
helmet,
Nothing.
he's gonna have a freaking raindrop hit his
If you're
eyeball
gonna
at 60.
ditch, if you, I know, right?
Just go blind.
If you're gonna ditch this girl, take the interstate or something. Like, why are you driving past the tree?
It's the only road out of this town.
Yeah,
Then he should drive by like this. I hope she doesn't see me.
just gonna walk my bike down this little road behind the thing. I hate this in movies. This must be some kind of trope because it's the I should definitely say something right now,
Yes.
but instead I'm gonna walk away moment.
Right.
And it happens in almost every movie I've ever seen where everything could be solved by just going, that's not true. That is not true.
This is what's
and
happening.
This is what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But nope, I have to just look really sad and
Yeah. No, Dana knows I scream communicate at my TV a lot. I'm like, just communicate with each other.
right.
It's a plot device because people write themselves into a corner and they're like, just have the person go mute for a scene, and it's just
We need-
infuriating.
Conflict here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the good
Bad
news.
ghostwriter.
The good news is now, after the ditches Earth a tree, it's Nick Cage time, boys.
Yeah.
Right? The rest of this movie.
Dude, this is what, 25 minutes?
Yeah.
This is 25 minutes into the film now. My God.
You can't give in to fear.
Can't give in. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I should talk about this now because I was just about to do a Nick Cage imitation. You guys might realize that Bob's not here. And I know a lot of you guys, when you voted, asked for Bob to be here. I'm going to give you guys an update. I can't tell you everything, but Bob is going to be out for a while. He's already been out for a while. You noticed maybe he hasn't been on. But he was going to be on Immortals and then ended up being a 3-person, episode. And then he was going to be here for Ghost Rider. And Mattila here filling in for him because Bob had surgery recently. He had just an injury. I mean, he's fine. Can't really share anything other than he's recovering, and he was hoping to be ready in time for Ghost Rider, but he's still in a lot of pain. He's still dealing with all that. He's going to be okay, but we probably aren't going to see Bob on an episode till at least middle of June. So just wanted to give you guys an update in case you're already listening on why isn't Bob on this episode? Because it's a prime opportunity for some incredible Nick Cage impressions, which we will hereby butcher through the rest of this movie because we're going to do it anyway.
At least try.
At least try.
At least try.
But that's what's up with Bob. So Bob will be back, but he's recovering. So, a prayer and a kind word for Bob. He'll be back before you know it to piss everybody off, and you'll wish he was never back in the first place.
Yeah. It could happen.
Better,
Who knows?
Bob. Get your ass in here soon.
You can't give in to fear.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Get a little zing on it.
A little bit.
zing. Bring it down.
I could eat a peach for hours. I can't do it as good as Bob.
Bob's scary.
Bob's really, really good. So I'm
just gonna go jump through this ring of fire instead.
It's like looking into a mirror, only not. Yeah. I can do face-off quotes all day. All right. Girls are where Johnny Blaze is going to jump. The girls are losing it. There's a bunch of girls in white tank tops jumping up and down, going crazy.
Okay, so back up like
Yes.
3 minutes when his dad dies.
Yeah.
Tell me
was like
that this is a PG-13 movie without telling me, showing his dad just laying on the floor. No indication that he went through any sort of fire or blood, nothing.
He's just dead.
Jump to where the girls are supposed to be just losing it, and they're jumping around in normal clothing and just nothing. 30 millisecond clip of girls jumping around, and that's
Right.
it.
So
This is the most PG-13
Oh, yeah.
tame you can get.
100%.
Yeah.
this is where you wanted boobies.
I think in the
I'm
80s,
not saying that. Lauren would be saying that.
if this
but
was
I'm not
the,
saying-
right.
you know,
This
like
is-
Cannon did a Punisher movie, if this was the Cannon Ghost Rider, you bet your ass there'd
Yeah.
be some
This would
boobs.
be where you get like a coordinated, like 3 girls would just be like,
Johnny, and they'd come.
It would
right?
You'd
have,
have
a
at least-
letter on each titty, just
Yes.
all the way down the
Oh,
line.
and you're right.
just like a bunch of titties saying Blaze.
Right.
Or something. Well, that would be
And-
weird because then you would have to have someone with an odd number of boobs. But
It could happen.
What did Ricky Bobby say?
Exclamation point.
Please be,
Yes.
please be 18. Right. The explanation point.
right.
Yeah, he solved it. There you
Yep.
go.
But when little Johnny pulls up to his dad too, that's when he
You got
and
to
it-
be very specific about who little Johnny is.
oh,
Yeah.
young Ghost Rider boy
young Ghost Rider
runs up to his dad and says, "Dad, oh God, something happened. You just fell through a fire and off a ramp and off a motorcycle and whatever."
Did you have a boner and that threw you off?
No blood on his face.
Because that's happened to me before.
Really?
No, him. I mean,
I mean, you can imagine.
you're right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no blood on his face, no
Nothing.
scars, nothing.
Just a little smoke.
Yeah.
Johnny Blaze is supposed to be some kind of megastar, like video games, energy drinks, the whole 9 yards.
Something like that, right?
Evil
even-
Knievel.
Even bigger
Yes.
than Evil Knievel, I feel like.
Modern day mega evil Knievel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to jump 47 semi trucks. You okay?
I'm good.
You good? All
Yeah,
right, all right,
no, I'm
good.
sorry. It's
Sure.
dusty.
No,
Right,
it
allergy
is.
Yeah.
season.
Allergies, right? Mm-hmm.
He seems so bored by the whole thing. He jumps, and we're seeing in the reflection in his visor as he's in midair. There's so many more trucks to go.
Yep.
I mean, you can't see the end of the line of trucks in the reflection in his visor. And he gets to the opposite ramp. He makes the distance, but then eats the front tire.
But he's going lateral the
Right.
entire. There's no arc. It's just
No.
straight.
Yep.
Right.
Straight.
If you get going fast enough, you hit that sucker going 88 miles an hour. You try to time travel across to the other side.
That's the only
On a
explanation.
bus. That's only on a bus. That's the only way that works.
He had a flux capacitor inside of his
Right.
in his bike, right? That's why he's got flames going behind his bike the whole movie.
Yeah. Closes his eyes.
Right?
Fears for the weak.
Fierce, yeah.
Or whatever he says.
I love how as he's jumping, it cuts back to like his flashback of the contract, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, oh, he's in midair and he's like,
Right.
it's like contract. Oh, remember Johnny, like all that, and then that's like it almost implies that's what causes him to crash.
Maybe he
like-
seems so. I think he's jumped so many times. He's literally thinking about like the groceries he has to buy later. And remember that time the devil showed up at the carnival?
Oh yeah,
That was crazy. Oh, we about to land? Is it about time for that?
oh wait, I gotta land. Oh,
So you don't think he knows that the devil is doing this?
No, I don't know.
I took it as he's trying to
Push the limit.
push the limits. See if the devil's going to keep him alive or
Yeah,
what.
right.
Oh hell yeah! Let's let it ride.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going to jump upside down.
He hits this front tire with his face, lands, slams right into the side wall.
Yep.
And
hard his
shatters his visor.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
With the shattering glass sound effect, which is great.
Because the glass visor is now.
Right into his eyeballs.
Right. OSHA said it's fine.
But then,
Was there really a shattering
yes,
sound?
it was like,
Oh man.
From his head hitting the hay bales
Yeah.
that are at the end of every ramp that's ever been.
Right.
He just.
but then Mac and his boys run over and rip his helmet off.
Yeah.
Big no.
Let's shake him around a little, make sure his spine's
And then
intact.
smack him in the face.
smacking him in the face.
This guy's spine could be out his ass for all they
Yeah.
know.
Right.
And they're like, is he okay?
Yeah.
Is he fine? Rip that helmet off.
Totally.
Wake up!
Totally fine.
Don't be saying any crap about your L4 or L5 vertebrae again either.
Standard protocol for head injuries.
That's right.
Yeah.
Move him immediately.
Move them immediately.
The doctor
Shake
comes
them as
over.
fast as you can.
This is not medical personnel either. This is the pit crew. This,
Maybe the medical personnel were
were
there.
there some there?
Maybe he's just like, what do we do? I don't know. Smack him in the face?
Yeah, because it looked like the same guys that were giving him secondhand smoke in the truck later.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he wakes up, but he's fine. He's fine.
How's
And-
the bike?
Bike.
also fine. I think they say it's fine, right?
The bike.
No one looked at the bike, but they're like, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
We designed this one to handle
But
being
it's not.
smashed.
because later on,
yeah. If you do 5, you get a kayak
Whatever.
or whatever.
back on the tour bus, and they're watching Johnny Blaze highlights on ESPN 8, you know the Ocho, right? I always crack up with these, like, everything that needs to be on TV for these movies is just on television. Like when we did Speed and the police ceremony was on TV and everything is on TV. And so we're watching Johnny Blaze highlights on Sports Center or whatever, and he wants to watch Howling Monkey videos or anything but.
Johnny Blaze has the weirdest TV tastes ever.
Yeah.
First,
2 or 3 times
he
it's about a
likes
monkey,
monkeys
right.
a lot and old cartoons. I don't know what channel this is. I've never seen a karate monkey in my life, but they found it. Must be the Ocho.
Hey, go back. It's Howling Monkey Night on Wild
Right.
Kingdom or whatever.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
You should be dead. I'm finally going to say something because you've crashed. One time you came off a bike with your head up your own ass, and every time you're fine. I think you got an angel looking out for you, man. Looks out the window ominously. Maybe it's something else.
I wanted that to happen so many times in this movie where I just wanted to hear that sound effect, that because there's so much, isn't that spooky in this?
Is it Satan?
That might have been better if Dana Carvey poked his head in and went,
All right. Cut over to a biker bar. We're finally getting introduced to the villain. We have Mephisto is not the villain of the movie, kind of, but he's not really. We meet Blackheart, played by Wes Bentley, who fully admitted in an interview that this movie happened in the middle of about a 10-year period where the only reason he took jobs was to buy more coke and heroin for himself. And so he was, for 10 years, just riddled himself with drugs.
that explains.
And that's why he did Ghost Rider, to get himself more coke to snort in his nose.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I personally
Good
love
for-
the guy as an actor. Everything I've seen him in, except for this, has been, he's a good actor. But yeah,
I hated Jamie in Yellowstone so much that.
but he's good at it.
But he's good at it.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like that even carried over to this movie. Where I was like, "You bitch! I hate you. I know what you did to Kevin Costner. You mother."
Yes. Anyway, Wes Bentley shows up at this biker bar, and you'd think the Hell's Angels, he'd be down. Like, I'm actually a Hell's Angel myself, technically, but he's like, you don't get to go in this biker bar because he shows up looking like emo Neo from frickin' Matrix. Okay, he's got the full-on Matrix coat
Yeah.
and everything, skinny at the waist, flared out at the bottom.
Flared out at the bottom.
Got the- Right, looks like he just went to a Fallout Boy concert.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like he did. Looks like he did a bunch of coke at a Fallout Boy concert.
Right.
Rides up on a
When I
Segway.
was a young boy. That's what he's saying. He's coming in there humming that.
That's My Chemical Romance.
I know, but it still
Holding a
fits the
keyboard.
emo thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
I hate my dad.
Also, can I have a drink in your biker bar?
Your biker.
How do I say I'm looking for attention while also looking like I'm not looking for attention?
Right. I don't want to go in here, but if you don't let me in, I'm going to kill you. With the finger poke of doom.
Dude. And he's like, because what does he say?
His fart finger is
His
That's
fart
what
finger.
it looked like. It's
Yeah.
like, doesn't this stink? And then everybody
I don't remember what he says.
He does.
I just remember the finger poke
He just goes, boop.
sucks
that
the
would've
juice
been
out of this guy.
turns him into a blueberry.
He did turn him into a
Turns him into a blueberry.
Oh, was it from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. Yeah.
Take him to be, he's got to be squeezed immediately.
He's got to be squeezed to the take him to the juicing machine.
Right.
So he's like ice guy, and all his buddies are elements.
Well, that's what we're going to get to here. Yeah. So it cuts back to the tour bus for Nick Cage to like give some asinine dialogue. Like, I'm just trying to see if it's really me on the bike. If I could turn a negative into a positive and come around the other side and be a real person. And it's just like literally word salad.
It is.
Makes no sense.
No, that's because he's talking about like, like if you needed a second chance, but you don't need a second chance because you never had a second chance, and then there's a second chance that's given to you.
But they don't give us the cut back to Mac going like, what
Nope.
the
Like I'm trying to think of
Honestly,
anything.
Johnny, that's
I'm
never
trying
happened
to think of anything from that scene, and it's like words. Just I'm gonna say words.
Yeah, he starts it off by going, "Can I ask you something?" Sure, man. Question mark? Okay.
But then back at the biker bar, some bartender's hiding. She gets up and Wes Bentley kills her. I knew you were down there the whole time. Kills her.
Yes.
Okay.
I just
Gives
wanted
the-
girls to watch.
That's right. And then his
Smell your fear thing. Whatever.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Then the hidden show up. This is his buddies, the element,
Three
Earth,
of
Wind, and
them.
Fire.
Yeah.
I needed him to bust it.
Dude, it was fucking.
Do you remember the 21st night, September? That's literally Earth, Wind, and Fire.
It is.
Start jamming, boys.
Why is Earth, Wind, and Fire and then Ice Boy?
Oh, I guess it's not Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's
Earth, Wind, and Puddle.
Earth, wind, and water.
it's
Water.
Dirt Man,
Sorry.
Soggy Boy, and Dorito Dust.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically.
And Ice Boy.
Who's Ice Boy? Is that
That's-
Blackheart?
Blackheart. He does
He's,
ice things.
he's just an
and,
ice guy. Everything's cold.
Oh yeah, because whenever he shows up, you breathe
So-
cold out of your
Yeah,
breath
that's
out.
right.
Why are those three like elements? And then humans are the fire element, which we'll get to. Sorry, jumping ahead.
No, it's fine.
And then there's Ice Guy, who's like, I'm the real bad guy.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
cold.
You know how you know you don't have to be scared of a monster is when its freaking eyeball falls off and it just goes, oh no. And then another eyeball shows up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this dude's on the level of like the Soggies from Captain Crunch.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
hidden
literally
should have
what it is.
stayed hidden because they were terrible. They were like, we need Ghost Rider to beat up 3 things before he gets to the
Right.
end of the movie.
The 3 caballeros show up and he's
Yeah.
like, I need to go get this contract of San Venganza, and it's in this graveyard nearby. So Blackheart tells them, and so why aren't they like, well, then go get it? Go
get it.
Why do you need us? Well, I don't want to go by myself.
It's kind of scary in a graveyard. You ever been in one?
Yeah, seriously, I'm not going. You gotta come in.
Mephistopheles might come, right? Don't say his name. Him or Voldemort. Don't say that stuff. I didn't like them.
I just want you to come with me. I don't want to be by myself.
Thought we could be a crew.
Okay.
It also seemed like the hidden, when they were doing the makeup effects for those people, they were just like, what do we have in the room? We got some contacts and some dreads. I think we got some piercings we could
felt
do on
bad.
that guy.
We have leftover vampire teeth.
Yeah,
Should we do that?
It's not the guy's fault, but when freaking Wind Boy stopped being Wind and you see him for the first time, I busted out laughing.
Yeah.
He looked ridiculous.
Yeah, his contacts made him look like a
and the
flounder.
hair.
Yep. The
I-
hair.
Oh.
The dreads.
And I hope if that's actually his hair, I'll take it all back. But it looked like the wiggiest wig
Yeah.
that's ever wigged.
Hey man, I can't see put these things in. This is not Irie. Yeah, he looked like he looked like crap.
Lauren was saying that guy looked like the dude from the bad guy from Twilight.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, Laurent.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for Johnny to jump end zone to end zone in a football stadium that had the goalposts on the goal line. Did you guys freaking notice that?
No,
I
but
didn't.
that's a good catch.
Yeah.
Because he said they're jumping goalpost to goalpost. They're always at the back. Anyway, whatever.
They're at the back of the
They're
end
at the back
zone.
of the end
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Not anyway. He's chugging some hot ass coffee to get ready for the jump.
Straight from the coffee maker.
I'm not sure that even the Ghost Rider could handle the heat coming out of those damn things.
Good God.
He has no heat skills either right now.
Oh,
Right.
They needed to pan down and see it shooting out his ass, like
Yeah.
as it was burning a hole through his intestine.
This is how I cleanse my colon before I jump so I don't
Yeah.
shit my pants.
Coffee enema. I'm ready, boys.
Is that the dirt bike? No.
I don't want to fill this suit again, so I'm going to get this over with now.
He gets on. He's walking out to the bike. We have an interview. I don't know what you didn't do your homework, little lady, because Johnny Blaze doesn't do interviews, even for an old friend.
Everyone shuts up immediately.
Everyone in the stadium, people in section 304 got quiet.
Eva Mendes is here.
Here comes Eva Mendes standing in the lighting, perfect for a secret reveal.
Oh my gosh, it was so awkward though.
Yeah.
It almost like it freeze framed for a second.
darkness across her face.
Yeah.
She
And it's
steps
just
into the light.
She did like some weird pose, like
Yes.
like a
We're just
jagged.
waiting. All right, he's going to come out. I'm going to stand over here in the walkway out to the stadium because it covers my face. And then we'll try to time it as soon as he passes by. I'll be like, yeah, what about an old friend? Like, you got one shot.
That's it.
The timing it would take
Yeah.
just to reveal that mole.
She dedicated herself to it because he dedicated himself to the tree.
It's true.
That's true.
That's true.
That was her. That was
JNR forever,
Been here
man.
for 3 hours.
Yes.
The interview was super awkward, real personal. Talk about jumping over the. I heard you were married. But no,
I hate this. I hate it. I hate it.
Johnny, what's going through your mind right now? You look real good.
You look real.
And she's like, really? Do I? Oh, geez, sorry. That's why I wore a skirt. And then, okay, this is the thing with Ava Mendes, and she's a crazy person.
Yeah.
Through this whole movie, it's that whole like, I'm mad at you, but I also really, really want you to hump me.
Yes.
Thing, and it drives me nuts.
Dude.
And it starts right here, and it doesn't stop until the whole end, even when he has a flame face.
There should have been at least 2 scenes of her pissed at him before she started to thaw a little
It
bit.
should have started pissed. She
Right.
started off like, but nope. That was dumb. I
No.
hated it. I was angry immediately.
All I learned is that the director for this,
Yeah.
he also did that kindergarten scene in Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
He's so good at making things so awkward. I don't think he's ever
100%.
touched a woman before.
Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, certainly not anybody like Ava Mendes.
No.
Right? Because
Or
women
Jennifer Gardner.
don't act like it was clearly written by someone who's never been or talked to a woman before.
I've heard of them.
I've heard of them.
I've seen the movies and the pictures.
I think this is exactly how they would act.
100%.
You know what
Yeah.
chicks would dig is a kindergarten fight. A bunch of kids watching me fight someone. Chicks would really dig that. Shit.
As she leaves, because she doesn't want to, I never watch him jump. She hightails it out of there. That was the sign, Mac. That was the sign I've been waiting for.
I never watch him jump since he broke up with me.
Right. So
She missed one jump.
She missed the one. Yeah, I don't know. However many jumps. I mean, it's
He's on
conceivably he's had a
TV, so
long.
maybe-
She's watching him in the beginning, so
Yeah.
she does watch him
That's
jump
true.
until he breaks up with her.
And he says it to her, why did you take this
Yeah.
job if you didn't want to watch me?
She bails, and Mac had been trying to talk him out of taking the cars off the football field, but instead he just puts 6 Black Hawk helicopters
I do like the reveal.
in. Yeah, they open the
This
stadium.
is like
roof.
10 seconds of a cool. This is 10 seconds of cool in this movie.
Yes.
When he's like, "Oh, I'm really glad you removed the cars," and then the
My dad thought it'd be cool.
my dad thought it'd be
Said
cool.
one helicopter. So you could just do 2 helicopters and it would be double cool.
Oh.
But you did 6, you weirdo.
Yep. And he determines that she'd be on the highway by now, wants to catch up to her. So he goes early on the jump, makes the jump with ease, and then just keeps driving through the concourse and out onto the highway to catch her.
Yeah, this epic jump that we've been waiting for.
Right.
It's over in 2
It's
seconds.
very perfunctory. Yeah. It's just
cannot-
like, oh, that's it.
I can't believe people pay for that stuff. It's a sold out crowd in this stadium.
And they'd just be like,
Like,
that's it.
you
Okay.
made it. All right. Yes.
I thought he was going to go back the other way. Careful. And jump the other way so he could leave the other way out.
Yeah, but what the even more ridiculous part is, as unclimactic as it was, and the people in the stands would have been just like, "So we just go now? It's just time to leave.
Yeah, right.
Go home. I
that it?
paid $75
Is that
for
the end
this.
of the event?
Traffic's gonna suck.
All right, all right, cool.
Is he still going to sign my boobs? Or no? No, he's not? Okay.
He catches up to her. Some biker with the really bad CGI pasted face of Nick Cage on it.
Yeah.
Maneuvers around this van and gets up to the window and tries to get her to pull over. And you're right, she's smirking the whole time. At no point does she be like, "Oh my gosh, leave me alone." She's like,
Yeah.
"Stop it."
Oh, Johnny, you're such a card.
Yeah.
I know that you ditched me 150 years ago, but it's fine. At least you think I'm pretty still.
He gets her out of the
Junk.
like. Finally, she gets out, and he gets her to agree to a date after he kisses her in the middle of the interstate, and all traffic is blocked. She leaves, and are the people mad that the interstate is blocked?
Nope.
Nope.
What did they do?
Get autographs.
People are-
All of them. Not just one, not just two, not just 5.
Yeah.
Literally like 20 freaking people. Like, Johnny.
As they close out this scene,
You're Johnny Blaze, right?
it zooms over, and there's people a quarter mile back running from their
Yeah.
Yes.
Buick
Yeah.
to catch up. They're like,
Yes.
I bet that's Johnny Blaze up there.
Dad got out of his Chevy Blazer, went through the sunroof, and with a telescope was like, "That's damn Johnny Blaze. Let's go, kids."
Yep.
Damn, Johnny Blaze.
There's a pregnant lady in one of the cars back there. Like, I can wait. Go get an autograph.
Yeah.
In labor. Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
See if he'll sign this empty can of Johnny Blaze energy drink that I just downed.
You know he has an energy drink
100%.
flavored like real jelly beans.
The bad guys have a face-off in the street with Mephisto and have a light-changing contest where they just keep turning the lights on and off on each other. I also can control the lights.
The only difference between you and me, Dad,
Yeah.
I'm not falling.
The lights get back on. Turn them back off again. And this is literally their display of their power.
Yeah, this is another big.
Shutting the lights on and right.
I'm not scared.
Go ahead. What do you say? Go ahead and send your rider. I don't care. Well, you're gonna.
Damn you, son.
I guess the twist is that he's his dad, right?
Right.
Because
is it a twist?
because they're having like the whole conversation, and then at the end he's like, "Whatever you say, Dad."
All right.
Who cares?
Big ass bone to pick here with Nick Cage. It's 8:00. You got one of the hottest women on the planet to meet you for dinner. Why are you still talking to yourself in the mirror at your place?
Because she is a raging alcoholic. Did you see what she was doing with that wine? No more. Give me it. Dump it all in. Grab it like a sippy cup and like.
So maybe it was only 6:00. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm pretty
She got
sure
there
that it
2
was
hours early?
6. Yeah. She was just like, I'm drinking 4 bottles of wine before he gets here. I'm going to puke in his lap because I'm so mad.
They kept cutting back. I'm like, how long is she going to sit here and drink wine for?
Yeah.
And at one point, she grabs the waiter and goes, "I'm pretty, right?" And the dude, I'm like, he's gay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure.
He's for sure gay.
Yeah. Eva Mendes is very attractive.
Yeah.
She's not my favorite thing in the world, but that's fine. But I certainly wouldn't tell her to her face that she's not pretty.
Right.
What are you nuts? Just politely lie if you don't think so.
Any
you
of
don't
it.
go, meh.
Right.
Even her random self-esteem issue all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She's a famous reporter,
Right.
for some news channel, and
know-
all
Right,
out
you
of
know,
nowhere.
people are sending her feet pics in the mail
Yes,
and stuff, right?
You know, people be like, these days, they be like
so
sending
good.
her messages on Twitter like, "Hey, girl, send me some of them farts in a jar."
Yeah.
Right.
You got any of that bathwater
You
left?
got any of that bathwater?
Dana and I are changing up. We literally have my fat ass broke a toilet seat at our house, okay, because it was made out of wood or whatever.
What'd you eat?
That's not important. But we're at Menards picking out a new toilet seat, right? And she's like, "Well, I don't know if this is the right size or whatever." And I was like, "Well, put it on there, whatever. If it doesn't work out, we'll just replace it. It's only $20." I said, "People buy used toilet seats all the time on eBay. We'll just put a hot chick in the profile picture and we'll be good to go." I'm telling you, there's guys out there that try to buy Ava Mendez's toilet seat from her old house.
I'm pretty sure there are vending machines of those in Japan.
I think so.
It's used toilets.
Used toilet seat.
Also,
From
I'm
anime
apparently a big
characters.
fat ass. I just broke my seat with them. I was like, I literally had a Tommy boy. I'm like, could have done without that. I literally did nothing but sit down and it busted.
And now for our surprise Patreon award. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, you get, if you're the 1,000,
The broken
you
seat.
get the broken
You can
James
get the
toilet
broken-
seat.
That's right.
Oh yes.
With real poo particles.
Really, honestly.
Oh.
All right. His hand. So he's looking in the mirror. You cannot live in fear. His hands start to smoke and turn orange. And then his bike beckons him down into the alley because it's gone.
Because
from
now
his
it's
living
gone
room.
from the books.
I don't
the
even-
bike was
Yeah.
the bike was set up on the books.
Was it
Yes.
even functional before this?
No.
I don't think so.
Because I think it
No.
was set up there like, remember when I had that bike and now it's all torn apart?
It was because there was another expo line from Mac.
Oh, right.
Like, when are you gonna stop working on this thing? It's whatever. And yeah,
You finally found a use for these books.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes out there, and this is where you get the 5-finger point again. you, right? Because here's Henry Fonda out in the freaking or Peter Fonda, one of the Fondas.
It's Peter.
It's Peter.
It's Peter.
If it was Henry all of a sudden, I'd be like, holy crap.
It probably. I mean, if it were Henry, it'd be Mephisto.
It'd be crazy. He basically activates him as Ghost Rider at that point. He gets on the bike and he can't pull his hands off of it.
And he turns his light on.
He turns and he sends it. He
You
sends
don't have
the
a
bike.
choice.
Right. You don't have a choice.
Let's start the property damage.
This thing rips down the street. Cars blowing up. Parking meters
Both
are
sides.
melting.
Parking meters melting. Both sides of the street. Parked cars exploding.
Yep.
Flying into storefronts.
Yeah.
Somebody is thrilled because they didn't have any money in the meter. They're going to come out and be like, yes.
Yeah.
Someone else is thrilled that there's literally no one else on this street because nobody dies.
No.
And no one
PG-13.
cares much. You don't see anybody like, whoa, after it's over.
My car's exploded, but I
Yeah.
didn't have to pay for parking, so that's
I guess this
It's kind of a wash.
a bonus.
right.
Right?
Also, I really wanted to cut to a detective who was putting the pieces together to be like, every 60 years,
Yeah.
this flame comes through.
Weird.
There's a lot.
Last time it was a choo-choo train.
Ghost Rider Choo Choo Train would be awesome.
Train.
Thomas the Ghost Rider engine. That'd be great.
Yes.
Doot, 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 doot.
Guilty.
He was a cheeky little ghost engine.
You could have his penance stand.
Right? Because we know it doesn't have to be a motorcycle. It was a horse at one point, right? So it's whatever vehicle.
It's a car in the comics now.
Right, there you go. So we could have had the Ghost Rider train conductor,
Yes.
right?
That'd be great.
Ghost Rider
Incredible.
bicycle.
The Ghost Rider Model
He
T.
can only fight crimes along the major routes across the United States.
Ghost Rider bus driver just like, bing. Dang, I have so much vengeance to do, but everybody keeps stopping the bus. Boom.
Be awesome, man. He rips through town. He gets to the bad guys are walking through a train yard because it's supposed to be the graveyard, right? And this poor train, like late night train doctor or whatever this, I don't know what this guy's job is to fix the trains. Whatever, he comes out and it's kind of like the guy in the elevator at Speed. Just like, just leave him alone, man. Like, oh, I'm gonna need to see some paperwork. What are you guys doing here this late at night? And they didn't need to murder that guy. I felt like
I actually, when I was watching this, was thinking, why do these guys in movies think that they've got to uphold the law? You just had 4 demons show up in your train yard, and you're like, hey guys, you really can't be here. I'm sorry that I pooped my pants with fear just 2 seconds ago, but I can't let you stay.
They
Who
pay me
cares?
$12 an hour to make sure no one's here.
Yeah, you're getting paid $15 an hour. If those demons want to poop on your chest, let them, because who cares? Why are you going to take on 4 demons that showed up at your train yard?
right because when his boss comes in the next day and reviews the security footage
Yeah.
that they clearly probably have all over this derelict train yard. What the hell, man? They just let these 4 guys.
Yeah, Captain Planet's rejects showed up, scared the crap out of him, and he said, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can go.
Well, one guy was made out of dust, my guy.
Right.
So
Could have taken care of him with a vacuum. Because Ghost Rider did.
let me get the freaking the Black and Decker out here, and we'll take care of this right now. Eh?
Yeah. Oh, also before this, I also wanted to mention that becoming Ghost Rider must really tickle because Nicolas Cage is cracking up.
This is the best part.
Yeah, as he's turning into the Ghost Rider. Yeah.
When he pulls in here to the train yard himself, and we get the full-on transformation scene, and he goes full Nick Cage
Yep.
in this moment, and he's laughing his ass off
Yep.
while his skull is being melted away, and he's just like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. I actually loved this part.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Because you got to see just complete unfiltered Nicolas
Like,
Cage.
this is why you hired Nick Cage to do this scene specifically.
Yep.
And it kind of bummed me out that every other time he changes into Ghost Rider, the rest of the movie, it's just like that.
Right.
He's Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Because this was awesome.
If they, I feel like a lot of movies, like werewolf movies, a lot of movies with transformations struggle with this, where they have the one scene and they're like, we're not going to keep showing you that because no one cares. And it's like, that's honestly like one of the coolest parts of movies,
Right.
is doing this whole like transfiguration, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's got the flaming skull now, and here comes, the Wind Doctor flying through the train yard. And I always thought this about Ghost Rider. Like, why doesn't somebody just try to blow his head out, right? And that's literally what they do. They extinguish his head. Wind Guy does.
Well, they grab him with a chain,
Right.
and then
And his head goes out.
his head goes out, right?
Right.
And all you did was give him his weapon. Now that didn't work.
There's the cheat. And then they hit him with a truck.
They do. He gets down from the train. You're going down, he says, right? And they hit him with
Whatever he says.
Dude, it's great. He hits him with the truck. He gets out of that. He goes, "Nice try, dirtbag." You get it?
Yeah.
Because
Because it's a dirt guy.
And here is
His writing
first
is
scene-
top notch. Acknowledge how good this writing is right now. I demand it.
Okay, James. Okay, buddy. I just have a jelly bean, and we'll say everything's okay.
Okay.
Every single one of the hidden went out like a bunch of bitches, and this is just the first example of it because they don't fight. Which one showed up? Earth. Okay, I'll just hit it with the hot chain and melt it, and then that's it. One hit.
What's his one-liner when he hits him with the truck?
What was it? Was there one?
When he got out of the
the
truck?
Earth guy. Yeah, the Earth guy.
He wasn't so
he
tough or something like that.
Is that all he said?
I thought that's what he said.
It's,
Something
it
like that.
lingers for so long.
Yeah,
he like
he
opens the door. He's like, that guy wasn't so tough.
Yeah,
Right.
because they needed to keep him in the movie longer because Ghost Rider just comes in there and immediately drops his nuts on their face, kills him. in a
It's
second.
true.
Seriously.
Man, so
He's able to whistle for his bike, and that's really impressive without lips.
That is exactly what Shannon said when he goes like this. He goes. She went. He doesn't have lips. And I said, just watch the movie.
And I was like,
comic book.
I thought about that for about 4 seconds. I was like, well, he also can make consonants and vowel noises, and I guess that doesn't make any sense either. So we're just gonna go with it because
The whistle from his heart.
that's what it is. It's deep from in his demonic soul.
Yeah, it's
right.
my heart whistle.
That's exactly what happened.
This is my heartbeat whistle.
This is my heartbeat whistle. I'm gonna blow it all night long.
Vengeance.
All right. So Ghost Rider senses that Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect is getting mugged.
dude.
Is
a
she
couple
30
blocks
in this
over.
movie too?
This is Rebel Wilson's first movie ever.
Is
Yes.
it really?
Ever, and she's doing an American accent, which is weird because basically every movie since then they just let her do her natural, Australian accent.
but she's doing an American accent.
Yep,
And she's doing the Rebel Wilson thing too.
she is. Well, for in the interview, but this
Yeah.
point she's just like and he shows up with this mugger. I feel like they undersell the fact that a flaming skeleton is coming at them
For real.
a little bit.
Everyone is way too okay with that being in the world. This looks like a Halloween decoration from Spirit.
Right. Your soul is stained with the blood of the innocents. Yeah, picks him up.
Picks him up.
Look into my eyes. And I needed the guy to be like, you don't wear just
You
the
don't
holes?
have any.
I just should look in the holes?
don't have any.
Look into the sockets.
Don't just look in my skull.
I'm not. I think this might be overkill, Ghost Rider. This guy's just robbing people. You sure you need to give him the death of
and stare.
1,000 souls or whatever it is?
Burns his eyeballs out of his head.
I need to try out this pen and stare at least once. I need to make sure it works.
That's all it is, though, too.
We need it for the plot later
Right.
because Sam Elliott has to tell him about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it sets up the whole ending.
It
right?
doesn't have a name. It's just scary time. Oh no, we call that the pen and stare because scary time doesn't sound cool.
And they so wanted to make sure you knew he didn't kill the guy that he had him blink a couple times
Yeah.
after it was over his husk. It looked like charcoal from my grill inside of his eye holes.
He wasn't dead?
No, he blinked.
He blinks
Yeah,
twice.
the mugger blinks.
So what happens? Does that guy just go back to his apartment with his, burned out eyes, and his wife goes, "What the?"
He said, "You got eye drops? Can I get some eye drops? I ran into this flaming skull demon, and my eyes hurt really bad."
It's bad. I literally can't see anything. Everything looks like a baked potato. I need to do this, man. Right
I thought
now.
pink eye was bad.
I did not catch that.
You just thought he left him dead there.
Thought he
in the-
killed him.
He should have. That's what should have happened. Is it should have left a burnt
Clearly.
husk of his face?
They
Yeah.
should have made it an R-rated movie.
Right.
Had the guy be doing a lot worse than just,
Right.
Yep.
Which would have
Mugging
happened if
someone.
that was the case, right?
and then he should have killed him. And then,
Yeah.
because Ghost Rider, He's the devil's servant.
Right.
He's not really like. Is he really going around serving justice?
Well, that's why Dana asked. She's like, "Why does he care about a mugging if he's supposed to be doing the devil's bidding?" Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, "It's a long story."
He's the spirit of vengeance.
Right.
But
But
I
we
don't
don't
think
know
Fat
that.
Amy needed vengeance yet for that guy because it didn't happen yet.
Right.
But we don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet.
Yeah.
He pulls into a graveyard and changes back into Johnny Blaze. Morning, bonehead. You get it?
Yeah.
You get it, guys?
You get it? His ghost. bone.
Acknowledge the writing, Mattila.
Is it because he's a flaming skull?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I get it.
Oh.
Obviously, he has a flaming skull.
See, I thought it was because he thought he was dumb because he kept doing these crazy stunts on TV.
He wakes up.
Writing.
He wakes up, drinks 7 waters because they don't have jelly beans at the graveyard or whatever.
Typical dramatic fashion when
Right.
people wake up and need to, I'm so thirsty, I'm so hungry, whatever. This is how we portray it in movies. Blah, blah, and water's flying all over his face and he's throwing the cups down in haste. It's annoying.
Yeah, why didn't they just give him one big cup
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of 4?
We
Also
only-
got these little cups for when I do my mouthwash.
Because I was a cowboy. Get it?
Because the rest are packed in my Ford F-150.
Get it?
Pick up the pace.
This old prospector sure knows a lot of information about Ghost Riders, doesn't he?
He sure does. That must be a really smart shovel he carries around.
Old caretaker.
You're the devil's bounty hunter, he says to him. He knows everything about the situation. In the presence of evil, he takes over.
One time he rolled over a boner rock.
That's right. But he doesn't take over like I overtake rocks in my Ford F-150. I'm sorry. I love Sam Elliott's narration to those stupid commercials.
It's good.
America. All right. He
I
said,
didn't hear truck. I just heard salsa. I just heard the pick up the pace commercials. That's all I heard. I forgot about the trucks.
last one, or he says, last Ghost Rider was 150 years ago. Also,
Wink. Guess who it was?
Everybody got that?
he also knows the name of the fallen angels as the hidden. I mean, he knows everything. He tells him the entire plot of the movie. And then
So your dad had cancer, but then you made a deal with the devil.
he's like, no, you got to the part that I know already. I've already.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you had pizza for lunch, and then you had a hot pocket for breakfast.
Johnny drives back into the aftermath in the city of all the blown up cars and melted road. And he's like, did I do that? It's great. The cops are crawling all over the place. This Rebel Wilson gives a hilarious interview with Ava Mendez where she's going full Rebel Wilson. Okay. He was all flames and stuff, and it was pretty cool. And then she walks away and she just like crosses her hands because she doesn't know what else to do in the camera.
With no gang signs, though.
Okay, sides. Right. Roxanne is there, and he's like, I'm sorry, but let me explain. I blew you off last night. And she's like, no, I knew my father was right about you. You are just a carny, and just really nasty to him. She should have been doing this the whole time.
Oh, where now you hate him now?
Yeah, no, sure. That's gonna last about 4 seconds, literally.
Well, she's hungover.
Right. He's like, yeah, I'm a carny. I literally came from the carnival. You were there. Okay.
But I was the
dad was a
coolest
carny.
one.
Yeah.
It's not really an insult if it's true.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back at Johnny's house, he's showing off his abs in the mirror.
Nicolas Cage did some work.
For one scene.
Is that really him?
It is actually. So a lot of people said it was fake. And
It looks fake.
On the guys on the film commentary confirmed that was actually him.
Oh, wow.
And he did the work.
It just looked fake because of the baby oil.
And it just
Yes, he was moist.
was not needed in the movie. And so it reeks of Nick Cage going, I did a lot of work, and so I'm going to have a shirtless scene right here. It's just him talking in the mirror. It's no reason for it to be there.
He starts doing dumb, like, trying to see what he looks like as a demon. Is that what he was
Just
doing?
look in the mirror when you turn on the Ghost Rider.
Yeah, scaring himself. It was very weird.
It's one of those trying to like when Tobey Maguire's doing the Go Web Go scene
Oh,
in
yeah.
Spider-Man, right?
Right.
Like
Much worse, but
Fly
yes.
web, fly.
Next time you change, it'd be like, hold on a second. I need to go to a bathroom. So you can go see what you look like.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. That was very strange.
It's weird.
Yeah.
He starts reading the book. Is about, I want to control the fire element within me.
Yep. And then Ava Mendes shows up in cleavage uniform number 1.
I'm like, Johnny, it's just all those cinnamon fire jelly beans you ate, man. That's literally all it is. If
But
you
eating
cut-
the red one.
If you cut back on those, it's actually going to go away.
All right.
It's a clear up overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
He should have done a hemorrhoids commercial. He certainly should have. With the whole, does your butt feel like this?
You're right.
Learn to control the flame within you.
Oh, that dude. I felt like Ghost Rider a couple times in my life. I felt like I was giving birth to Ghost Rider. This
had to-
flaming skull was coming out of my anus.
Had to tame the spirit of vengeance a couple times.
If I looked down there, it would be like, justice. Like,
I'll swallow your soul.
dang, man.
But Eva, she does show up in like the most boobage shirt she owns.
That's what she's like. I just came to apologize. Like, you didn't come to apologize with your shirt unbuttoned that far down.
No.
I can
Okay.
see
I
your belly button.
Your bra. That's
Right.
You cleavage is one thing, but why don't you just not wear a shirt if that's what you're doing?
Right. She came to do a little more than apologize, I feel.
Yeah. She sucks face with him and then goes, "No, I hate you."
Well-
and I was like, "This ain't a woman."
She kind of walks
That's
around.
a man. That's a dude.
She wanders around the apartment for a while as they're talking, about things. And it's not until she gets to the picture of them from the photo booth that she suddenly wants to make out with them. And then, so she's remembering that, there was a line and you just kept using your whole roll of quarters. We check all those pictures and just
Yeah.
starts making out with them.
She's fangirling all over the apartment. Like, I had that poster and I had that poster.
Right.
Oh, here's our card.
And as they're kissing, all I could think was that Johnny was thinking of how putting that picture right there really paid off. Like 4 years ago.
Many years.
He almost put that one in his
He
bathroom.
was about to toss.
He was on the top.
Oh, man.
And he's just going, thank God I picked that spot right there to put that picture."
Right. Before she blue balls him and goes, "No, I'm mad at you again."
He pushes her away. That's why she gets mad.
Oh, he
'Cause
does?
He says you should go.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk you to your car.
And she goes, you can tell me anything, honestly. Like, literally, I'm a reporter. Whatever's going on with you, you can tell me. I can handle it.
Reporters never use what you tell them and put it
No.
into the news without asking you.
I liked
this
how
off the record?
she said the same thing. Like, I'm a reporter. I've literally been through everything.
Right.
And I was like, everything?
And then I was like, almost like, liar, liar. As soon as he started telling her, he's like, forget it. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it was, she immediately did, she lied. She said, I can handle, I'll take it. Tell me. And she immediately was like, you're what? You're the spirit of vengeance? And, well, okay, you're going to tell the stupid story instead of making out with me and having some sex? I'm out of here, Johnny.
Yeah.
Just
And she bails.
Yeah.
Did it ever occur to you that this is so crazy that it just might be true?
It's really specific
Yeah.
anyway.
He has a very specific story here. I'm not sure that he was just making that up. He could have just said, "I got a tummy ache, and I would really like it if you left before I poop my pants." But no, I don't think
drank
that he
a lot
would
of
just
coffee
make up the spirit of vengeance story so that he could get you out of his apartment. He was like, "No, I drank a whole pot of hot coffee." 10
He has
seconds
made
ago.
up lore and fan fiction about his flaming hemorrhoids that he's dealing with.
Yes, exactly.
I call it the spirit of vengeance.
There's a spirit of vengeance in my butt crack.
He follows her out there, and as she leaves, the cops roll up out. This made no sense. They arrest him, accuse him of being guilty and killing all these people. They never show the audience what evidence they have.
They did.
Or what led them to think it was Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, they
show.
do.
Was I not looking? What was it?
It's
Tell
the
me.
license
He
plate.
picks up the license plate.
Oh, I missed it
Sir, I
'cause I was-
found something. But
Taking notes.
cops are not going to come arrest you for finding a license
There
plate.
was license plates littered across the whole
Right.
road because all those cars exploded.
Yeah. How did they know that was the one from the motorcycle?
Did you find my bike
Yeah.
while you were down
Right.
there? Because it blew up. I
That
don't know.
detective sucks. I couldn't stand him. What are you in this movie for? We don't need this. I didn't get why they even had the cop angle or that whole storyline. Why is this just
to get him into
add
jail,
some time?
I
We're
think.
just stretching. I was frustrated.
They walk him down to the jail, and the whole thing is like the Ghost Rider comes out in the presence of evil, right? And so he's already struggling as they're walking him down the jail. Oh, he's itching himself like he's freaking that Chappelle show character, like crackhead guy. You know?
Got some of that evil in there?
Yeah, right. Gets put in the jail. These prisoners they've got in there just fully go, I paid $10 to see you splat at the county fair. And damn it, I'm pissed.
All right. I'm going to kick your ass for entertaining me.
That's right.
What?
We don't take kindly to bike jumpers around here. Not in this jail.
It's the collection, like the quintessential collection of cliched people in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, we don't. Yeah, we're gonna have to give you an ass whooping, boy. Like,
Why?
No reason.
No reason at all.
It's
and
like
there's like 6 of them.
Oh, yeah.
these holding cells. It's like they get to a certain amount of people, and then when that one person comes in, this is the one that we're kicking his ass.
Yeah.
I don't care. The next person that walks through that door, whether it's the spirit of vengeance or an old lady, they're going down because we have this many people here.
That's right. One more person, and I feel too cramped to
right.
beat somebody's ass.
Yeah.
They're all piling on him, and except for this one kid.
Yes.
Beating, pounding up on Johnny Blaze. All of a sudden, he changes and roar, and all the dudes go flying off of him. And Ghost Rider turns and points at this black kid and goes, "Innocent,"
Yeah.
and leaves.
Uh-huh.
And the kid was like, "Is that admissible in court? Could you come back and say that into this recording
Can you
device?
tell the cops that?
Could you stop by the courthouse later?"
It's a very convoluted way just to get the spikes on Ghost Rider's coat.
Nice jacket.
Nice jacket.
Yeah. Every time you do that, I think of Army of Darkness.
Seriously, dude, they did the skeletons better in Army of Darkness. So what does that say for you? Right?
Yeah, it's weird that they didn't have him instead be like, I'm going to go try to like help people now and then get his ass kicked at a bar and then fight somebody and get the coat. I mean, that's
No, I know.
same amount of time taken up for the movie, but makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
He runs out to the street to get his bike, and one cop comes out and breaks his jaw with his baton,
Yes.
which he just puts back on
Because you
drives
would.
away.
When a flaming skullhead monster comes out of the police station, you're like, I'm going to hit him with this. I'm going to, you
that
freeze
guy?
there.
Yeah.
Again, this goes out to the stupid, why do you have this much balls to deal with a monster? You have no reason to go up to that.
I didn't think about that. Gary is grabbing his baton in the lobby. He's like, "Oh, the prisoner's escaping," but then you get out there and you see what the prisoner is.
Yeah.
We're already here.
You're good, man. You go. You go. What, this? No, this is my lunch. I'm not going to do anything with this.
Because I feel like you'd make me eat this if I
Yeah.
came anywhere near
He's
you.
like, certainly not going to hit you in the face with it. That would be ridiculous. Carry on.
And then after you break his jaw, you're just gonna be like, "All right."
Yeah.
Which is basically what the guy does. He just stands there like,
I don't know what I expected.
So
"I'm gonna go."
Listen, this is awkward. I know that I just knocked your jaw off, but I just want you
Yeah.
to know that I won't do that again.
It's the Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I thought.
I thought you were the
thought you were
fighter ghost.
a burn victim.
I am sorry about all this pee on the ground from my pants.
I was trying to put you out. I thought you were a burn victim.
That's how you do it when you're a cop. You hit him with your baton. Ma'am, you're burning.
Blah, blah, blah. Oops.
you're on fire.
Yeah.
He takes off, drives up the freaking bridge. It's got these like curved arches. He drives up the arch, sits up there for a
Yeah,
while as the
sits
cops
on the
surround
arch.
him, and dives into the river, flips the cops the bird, and then drives his bike boat down the river off into the distance.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Uh,
Why not drive down and through the cops? What are they going to do?
Is this
Innocent. That's why. I'm guessing.
I'm an alligator.
There's zero reason for him to go in the water.
Hydroponic.
Right.
So dumb. He gets back up on the street and the freaking
powered?
Windy McGee, yeah, right, attacks him, and he drives up a skyscraper to chase Windboy. Okay,
That's neat, though.
awesome. And Ava Mendes sees him from a quarter mile away,
Right.
this little fire thing going up, and she's like, Johnny?
Yeah.
Like, just
As she's throwing away a shirt because it doesn't have enough cleavage, she's like, "Nah, I don't want that."
No, not that one.
Turns around and goes, "Holy, she's telling the truth."
She takes off on the roof. This is one of the scenes that Nick Cage insisted on and would increase the budget. Mark Steven Johnson had to pay for it out of his own pocket.
Oh, no.
Was the chopper sequence on the top of the roof. And the whole sequence is just him roping this police chopper, pulling it in close enough for the pilot to be able to apologize, and then lets him go.
Right.
Yes.
Whoa. There's some deep dialogue that happens here.
When you mean him going, yeehaw, as he throws the chain at him?
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, that out of all of them, that was the one where I was like, guys, you can't have Ghost Rider yell yeehaw before he ropes.
Sure can't.
Not
I mean,
at all.
not even the cowboy Ghost Rider would say yeehaw.
No.
And he's a cowboy Ghost Rider.
I can forgive almost all of it. Like,
Yep.
you want to go for the puns, hey, dirtbag, bonehead, all that, fine, whatever. But as soon as he screamed yeehaw, I'm like,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. That was
what
it
are
for you, huh?
what are we doing?
And I was a 90s comic book kid.
Yeah.
So, like, Ghost Rider was one of those cool, edgy, like, he's not Spider-Man. He doesn't
he's more like the
quip. He's
Punisher.
not- yeah.
Right.
He's going to just go get it done.
Right.
He's not going to go, yeehaw.
And then Dust Boy comes, time to clear the air.
Yep. And then he gets taken out like a bitch. Number
fire-
2 of the Fallen gone like a fart in the wind.
About a fire tornado.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's so funny that you even see Nicolas Cage's arm going, hey,
Yeah.
just getting rid of the fart. That's all he
right.
did. There was no fight.
Nope.
All I wanted from the Fallen was some battle. There was no battle. It was just like,
None.
here's the wind one.
I'll tell you, there's not a battle anywhere ever.
Not ever.
Not ever.
Not significant. No.
Do you think
No,
part of that?
literally none.
No.
Yeah. Do you think part of that is because you can't really hurt the Ghost Rider, and so they're worried that like it's just dumb?
But here's the problem is this is again, you always have a knack for posing a question that's perfect for what we're about to talk about here.
Perfect.
Because at this point he drives off of the skyscraper, superhero lands with a motorcycle, and I just was like shards of glass flying to everyone's eyeballs or whatever. It was like a horrific impact, but everybody's fine. It's got all these cops and Eva Mendes is down there.
And that's awesome too.
She's just dead with glass sticking out of her head. And he's just like,
Right.
Is that? Oh, shit.
The amount of people on the street that are just impaled.
Right.
Yeah.
And he just goes, yeehaw!
Oh.
I did a bad.
They established earlier when the guy was mugging Rebel Wilson and he stabbed Ghost Rider in the shoulder. Later on, Expo Cowboy is sewing up his shoulder, right?
Oh, good point.
But then in him right here, the cops shoot him 1,000 times, and he's never hurt as a
He's
human.
Slightly annoyed because
Right.
he made his head turn blue for the girl, and then
So, right, because blue for the hottie.
Yeah.
Dana said blue flame is hotter than the yellow flame. I was like, oh, that's
means he's horny.
what it is.
That's what it is.
That's the Ghost
That's how-
Rider boner.
Yeah.
You should see my blue balls right now.
If the leather pants came open, there'd just be a giant blue.
That's a good one.
That's the Ghost
Flaming.
Rider husband bulge.
They've got a scene right after this of Sam Elliott pulling his testicles out from that fall.
Yeah.
What should have happened if you're being consistent is the next time he changes in Nick Cage, he should drop dead of 90 bullet
Yep.
wounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So that makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
And you could have had battles still. Like they could still whip each other around or get hit or something or punch each other or whatever meaningless crap they do in
Right.
every other movie.
It would have looked awesome, and audience would have still liked it. I would just wonder if that was like part of the reasoning. If they're like, well, he doesn't actually get hurt.
Right. But the weird thing is he does get hurt, they said, and then he doesn't get hurt. That's
Only from knives in the shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. And was that even a comic book thing where Johnny would suffer the injuries of the Ghost Rider? Or I thought Ghost Rider was kind of indestructible.
To my understanding, they were two separate things.
Right.
It was like Johnny turned into this spirit of vengeance that he would let him take over. And the
Right.
fight was kind of in Johnny and I forget the name of the
Yeah.
something toast.
Yeah.
Something. And there was an inner fight with him about
Yeah.
like, should I kill this thing or should I be a good person?
Right.
But I don't remember there being anything like, well, if I get farted on, I'll stink later.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so, okay, the whole thing didn't make any sense to me.
No.
All right, so he gets like that blue flame for his hottie. They open fire. He just leaves. Roxy goes back to Johnny Blaze's place at night with literally a little more cleavage than last time. Like eventually she's just going to show up in her bra,
Yep.
and then she's going to show up. She's like, maybe this time a little less. One more button.
Cleavage outfit number 2
Yeah.
has entered the chat.
Just has pasties on.
Except Mac is there. Donald Logue is there. And he's like, Johnny's not here, but you got to tell me what the hell's going on. I'm supposed to be the best friend character in this movie, and I've never been in any scenes, and I'm not in it at all.
We need some fodder for the demon coming.
Yeah.
So how about that guy?
Well, we could try reading his demon books that he has over here.
Yeah.
I got a note right here on this paper plate. Someone left on my door.
I have a spirit of vengeance inside of me. Dinner's at 5. I didn't know what this meant.
I thought he was planning another jump.
Johnny shows up. Oh, I was gonna tell you, but I didn't know how.
Right. She looks at one of the books. She goes, Jesus. And then you hear Blackheart. Not even close. It turns around. Bye, Mac. Good thing you were in this movie. Gone, dead.
Dead, just like that.
He grabs her. She's not quite killed, but she's starting to turn blue or whatever.
Yeah, he puts the fart finger on her.
Yeah.
It's just half her face, though. Like you can only smell it a little, right? And then she falls down.
The minor stink.
Yeah, this is just my little stink finger.
Johnny Blaze runs in, Ghost Riders immediately. This is now he can just change at will. And tries to do the penance stare to Blackheart, but he goes, ha 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 ha. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. Your penance stare is no use against me, Ghost Rider, because I don't have a soul.
Right. This won't work, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time to duel.
Gosh.
Terrible.
Now you work for me. Go and bring me the contract of San Vengaza and meet me in San Vengaza, and maybe I won't kill your girlfriend. And that's it.
That's it. That's the deal.
That's the deal.
Well, that's really short.
Yeah.
You could have done that an hour ago.
Literally. Ghost Rider gets the contract. So he goes back to the graveyard. Where's the contract? I know you have it here.
It's really good. You're doing really good.
Okay. And he's like, it's in the shovel. That's where I hide it.
Yeah. Listen, there might be some dead body stuff on this and dirt and whatever. I can't imagine what was all over that shovel. And it's awfully convenient and it's easy. I mean, don't drop the shovel.
No, I was
gonna say,
made of glass.
Yeah.
He's been digging graves with this shovel, which is clearly hollowed out.
Yep.
Like, how did that handle survive for so many years?
He has
He
an
doesn't
actual digging shovel and then a badass looking
I was going to say, he doesn't actually work there.
No, yeah. It might just be like, no,
He just hangs out there.
this is my carrying shovel.
He hangs out on hallowed ground because then he can't be found by Mephisto.
Right.
Except for when Darkheart's in the church and
Oh, yeah, which also would have been consecrated holy ground, but let's not, squibble over.
you don't have to.
Not in this movie.
Don't confuse the issue with facts,
Nope.
James.
I don't. Who knows?
All right.
My gosh.
I don't know if I can trust you enough to give you this. And he goes, they may have my soul, but they don't have my spirit. And then,
And he's like, all right, good
I
enough.
guess I trust you now.
That checks out. Good enough for me.
They say potato. I say potato. It's completely different.
That's the exact right thing to say.
That's good enough
We
for
just
me.
become best friends.
I guess I can trust you, mijo. Here you go. Here's this contract that I've literally spent the last 150 years.
Yeah. And it's
Guarding.
like a 2-second conversation from Nicolas Cage. And
And as he's handing it over, or are you going to say something?
What are the
Brian?
stakes? What are the stakes of the contract? That,
It'd be hell on earth. He said, "You remember hell on earth? Don't."
but
let
in
him
the
get
sense of like these 1,000 souls would then just reign and it'd be like some
there.
Armageddon
I don't
type.
know.
Like,
But he gives this almost as bad of word salad as earlier. This asinine speech. He's like, "You could be the most dangerous man." Or I'm doing Nick Cage, the most dangerous man on the planet, because what you did for love. And that means there's something good in you. And then he goes through this whole thing, right? And I'm like, I couldn't make sense of any of what
it
he
made
was
no
saying.
sense.
no.
No.
That's what I was saying. Like, turn your brain off when he's talking and just, like, if you could turn off the voice part of it and just hear.
No.
And then if it couldn't get worse, he says, "It's 500 miles away. We got to ride." and in comes his, pale ass crusty dust horse that he's gonna ride.
But he had lips to whistle for this.
Because he whistles for it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he gets on. He's like, "You're also the Ghost Rider," and he turns
Ghost Rider too?
And he turns into a flame guy, and then the horse turns into a flame horse, and I'm like, "Yes!" Like the first time I watched this.
And this is the moment where the song, whoever does the remix of the song,
Yes.
which is a great remix too.
This part is
And I'm like, "This is so epic." Old versus new, old and new.
Old and new coming together.
Bad guys are in
Ghost
trouble.
Riders in the sky.
And a flaming horse. Chisholm, John Chisholm. He came on a flaming horse. That's Chisholm. That's what I'm saying, right? Like the opening credits of some Western from a million years ago. And I'm like, this is, yes. And then they get there. And he changes back to Sam Elliott. And he goes, I only could change one more time. And I was saving it for this. To drive 500 miles and then turn around and go home?
He had to take his shotgun with him so that he could give it to him and say, stick to the shadows. Bye-bye.
That's it?
He also doesn't go home. He just disappears.
Yeah, he turns into a fart. And
How about you wait till it's time to fight the bad guy and make that the last time you're going to change?
I'll just take an Uber there and then turn into a flame.
yeah.
I don't know.
He just rode 500 miles to leave.
It is a it is
Good luck.
He'd be the man to walk 1,000 miles to fall down at his door.
Yeah, it's the ultimate like tease. This is so epic and so cool, and
Yes.
then it's just like, okay,
Just kidding.
That's where the budget ran out. Right about there.
Of the many sins this movie has, this is by far the worst thing to do to the audience. Mm-hmm. To pull the rug out from under him like that. There's no reason to do it. No reason.
It felt very much like they ran out of money because even the end of the movie, the big climax felt like they ran out of money, and this
Just
is,
keep only his hand in the shadows
That's right.
so we can save on
gotta
CGI.
go.
Well, first he's got to defeat the water goblin.
right by
Okay.
just holding him and going, "You want a kiss?"
He lights him on fire underwater,
Right.
which probably surprised the hell out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the ways he thought he was going to go,
Right?
that was not it. Right.
Well, and good thing that they showed us that the fire can turn on underwater,
Which is fine because it's demonic fire.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
So I'm just saying he had to have been pretty shocked.
Oh yeah.
that-
But I guess that was the purpose of him driving in the river earlier,
Right.
was to just establish his fire cannot
But he's
be
not even Ghost
extinguished.
Rider when he is going through the same
right.
swamp that Artax died in. He's just looking around like,
There's Artex floating upside down. in the
this
water.
seems like I should really be Ghost Rider right now. But I'm going to say nah, and I'm just going to slowly roll through this water.
Throughout this whole ending, I think they really just wanted to use Nick Cage as much as possible.
Yes.
Because he spends a lot of time as Johnny in this last sequence and only changes when he absolutely has to.
But
Yeah.
keep him as Johnny earlier then.
Yeah.
And
Right.
do all the CGI at the end during the final battle.
Right. To like that's when he changes fully at the end or something
Right.
like that. But then people would have been more pissed off. But it's just like it's almost like Willem Dafoe, like they didn't want to cover him with the freaking mask in Spider-Man, so they did whatever they could to have his mask off at all times.
This is a problem with a lot of the MCU movies is
Right.
they had these faces that they felt like they had to use. So at the end of the movie, and everybody got Judge Dredded where like,
Right.
I don't care about Tobey Maguire's stupid face. Keep
Right.
him in the Spider-Man mask.
Right.
Keep Ghost Rider. Keep and on down the line, Green Goblin, all of those things. But
Right.
nope, we got Ben Affleck here, so we need to make sure that his mask is off when he kicks Kingpin's ass.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody does.
If the person's too famous to that point, then don't use them.
Right.
Find someone else.
If
that
Nick
can
Cage
be-
doesn't want to work for 10 days to shoot the very few in-person scenes, and then you don't need him for the rest of the movie, then don't hire Nick Cage.
People are going to the movie for the character that's on the poster,
Right.
Not because Nicolas Cage is playing Ghost Rider.
I maybe some people that didn't know about Ghost Rider were like, oh, a Nick Cage movie, I'll go check it out. But you're talking about probably less than 5% of the people.
It's been my gripe with comic book movies for the whole time I've been watching them. Like the fans know, and the people that aren't fans won't care. So do what the fans want.
Exactly. All right. Well, he rides into town. He hands him the contract. There's Blackheart standing in the middle of the road and won't let go of the contract, and then punches Blackheart in the face, which goes really well for him. He just gets yeeted onto a well, on the other side of the street in the daylight because the sun's starting to come up. So he changes back into Johnny Blaze again.
Is that how that works, though?
I think so.
He does say that. Sam Elliott says that in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Stick to the shadows. But does that mean that the shadows are like if you were in a movie theater and you had some evil that you figured out? It's like, I can do that in here because it's dark.
Under my desk, I could turn into the Ghost Rider.
Exactly. I'm going to hide in the bathroom and turn into the Ghost Rider. Yeah.
Exactly. He gets all the souls at this point because Johnny's like out of commission, bent over the back of this well. He says, "Come to me," and all these souls come up, and he eats up these souls. It's like me on taco night. It's just all just flying into his mouth.
They're just flying into his mouth.
And even he seems like a little bit like, oh God, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I regret this immediately.
He certainly looks worried.
He does. All these 1,000 souls dive into him to the point where he's like, yo, I got red eyeballs, dude. This is lit, son.
And black skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks so much worse. Like, he's so lame looking.
He for sure is. It's like, I am Legion. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
For I am many. And then he goes over. Johnny's like, Ava Mendes shows up with the shotgun, right?
Yeah.
And goes over to Johnny. He's like, I have to end this. Why? Why you? I'm the only one who can walk in both worlds. I'm the Ghost Rider.
But I just blew his head off. I can help you with this because I just shot him a bunch of times and his head came off.
Oh, he shoots the ghost. Let's shoot a ghost with a shotgun. They do that a bunch of times in this scene, and it just like T-1000. It is kind of T-1000 because even when he explodes, he comes back together and it kind of grows T-1000.
Yeah.
Goopy, sturdy souls.
Well, she empties the shotgun
Yeah.
of shells, tosses it to Ghost Rider. He puts his hand in a shadow, which turns it into super doom
Hellfire
shotgun. And
shotgun, which is awesome.
Sauces, then just sauces Legion. But then they all just stand there and like, you go wait. And then wait for all the pieces to start coming together.
Right.
Like the Werewolf and Monster Squad just
Yes.
Why aren't you running or shooting again or whatever?
Find out if Blackheart's got nards.
Right.
Like why don't we
got nards.
do it.
do it? I can't wait till we do that movie. Mm-hmm. How does it feel to have all of that evil inside of you? 1,000 souls. Feel their pain. And he grabs him.
He literally just walks up to him.
Yeah.
No effort.
He doesn't try to stop him.
No effort. No nothing.
Blackheart doesn't go.
No.
Try to get away.
Nope.
Well, Johnny backs up to the church doors so he can get more
Right.
shadow energy and then gets smashed through those doors and then stupid. Yeah.
Penance stares
And if
down.
it's a church that he gets thrown into, then
hallowed
Blackheart
ground.
should come in.
Consecrated ground, I know.
Yeah.
How about this? Why is San Venganza still there 150 years later? You know that will be an El Pollo Loco and a freaking laundromat.
And a gas station.
And a gas station. Right there.
Yep.
Like this town is still here 150 years later.
That's what Sam Elliott does. He kills any developers that show up.
Show up to populate the town.
What do you think I need this shovel for?
That's right. I drove here in my Ford F-150.
I got a F-150 full of salsa. Get out of here.
Yeah, so he does the penance stare, burns the eyeballs out of his head, but he's dead, and the other guy wasn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
That's why that doesn't make
who
sense.
cares?
Who cares? Whatever.
Whatever,
I
you know.
literally don't care.
Well, because all he did was kill all the souls that were inside a Legion, but Jamie was still the husk, so then he drops them.
It's a great idea. I actually like the way that they dispatched him to plant that seed before I don't have a soul, all that stuff, but it was just telegraphed a little too much. But I liked how they took him out. He should have tried to fight or get away for sure.
That's what I mean.
Right.
There was none of it.
Wrap the chain around and pull him towards you. You know, like
something.
there's so many ways to.
As soon as he's dead, he goes blue flame for his hottie again.
She touches his face.
She comes over.
Turn back into Nicolas Cage.
Monster.
So dumb.
She is ballsy though.
Mephisto shows up and he goes, time, I'll relieve you of your curse. A deal's a deal. I'm going to own this curse and use it against you. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But I'm going to keep it.
That's right.
I'm a spirit of vengeance.
Then they go back to her tree so that he can ditch her again. He's literally like, she's like, what do you do? I don't know. I got to go somewhere else. And, you know, they're not going to stay together. It's clear that's happening.
Right.
And so he ditches her again at the same tree. And that's the damn movie.
Why didn't he cross off forever while he was standing up there? Like, he should have crossed off 4 and been like, never.
Just burn it off.
I was
Right.
gonna say you could burn it.
It was
I
daytime.
learned the stink figure move.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, don't
Hey.
tell me we couldn't make this movie better by casting Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, because that's a damn lie and I'm sick of it.
I don't know, man. This is a tough one.
I didn't say it would be good. I said better than it currently is.
I think it would be way better if Arnold Schwarzenegger was Eva Mendes.
Yes.
Long lost best friend.
And what about an old friend?
That's right, not even for an old friend.
I want more wine. More. Don't you think I'm
Do
pretty?
you think I'm pretty? No.
But imagine his cleavage.
Crushes him.
Listen, I just came over here to apologize, and his man tits are just freaking busting out of his
Oh yes.
shirt. Be incredible.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider would go blue flame for him hardcore, dude.
Exactly.
Johnny, I'm here to pump.
That's right.
you.
The shotgun pump.
No. Nick Strong also said, I have to see Arnold and Roxanne. The tree scene with her and Johnny would have been a work of art. I also see him replacing Sam Elliott. Would love to have seen him hop on the flaming skeleton horse and have it just crumble underneath him.
That would be great.
Listen, this horse was really old. Okay, I'm going to run next to you. And it's just Arnold. Just,
behind him.
Flaming Arnold running through the desert. This is the last time I could change. So goodbye. Stick to the shadows.
It's ridiculous. Get to the shadows.
Get to the shadows.
Get to the shadows.
If it burns, we can kill it.
No, we can't. Only if my daddy shows up.
It'd be good. I think, though, think about him as Ghost Rider. I think that could have been incredible. The problem is they wouldn't have been able to change his accent. Like when he goes to be Ghost Rider, even though it still got to sound scary and skeleton-like, it still has to be Austrian, right?
No, I don't know. Sure.
I don't know.
Innocent.
Yeah. I just feel like his motorcycle would look like a Power Wheel or a tricycle under him. So it'd just be like, ram, ram.
Be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what the patrons had to say. We already talked about Nick. Cody Sharp comes in and says, hey, new to the show and Patreon, so if I screwed up, be sure and laugh at me and ridicule me on the internet, so maybe next time I'll get it right. Oh, hey, when do we ever do that? Never, right?
No, we don't ridicule or
Look how he spelled sure.
James.
He says, girl in the alley, Rebel Wilson. Can you imagine Arnold trying to imitate fire and then swooning over Nick Cage's physique? He was all flames and stuff. It was crazy.
But it worked for him.
It kind of worked. He had a fantastic body. Matt Caps also jumped in for his first time ever. Thanks for the opportunity. Says, you guys are hilarious. Make driving to work and back way easier. I would like to see Arnold play Blackheart. He could have made for a way more intimidating villain. Well, that's for damn sure. And could have dropped some great one-liners like, what's the matter, friend? You're looking a little dead. No, that's actually, that sounds like an Arnold line.
There you go.
To the first biker he killed, every line that Blackheart said would have actually sounded better than what we got. Send you precious rider. I don't care who is my daddy and what does he do? He sends ghost riders all over the place and tried to come after me. Stop it.
Demons have a penis.
They have a blue flaming penis. Okay.
Thanks
Girl
for the
demons
tip.
have a vagina, flaming vagina.
We got Dustin Marin playing along. Blackheart never had a real reason to fear him. Have that be Arnold, and that would have at least brought intensity to the role. Dustin, you're not wrong. Michael Sullivan playing along says, Blackheart, again, with his size, far more imposing, and they could have attempted a comic-accurate appearance for a more demonic form. You pen and stare doesn't work on me. I've got no soul to burn. Or...
That was good.
Or it's just like, even after he gets the 1,000, you see, look at me. I'm Legion, for I am many. Isn't this fantastic? Look, I'm much bigger. My bigger pecs are swollen. He still sounds exactly the same instead of like 1,000 voices.
But not that many because I'm already.
That's right. It's already pretty big. And then finally, Josh Miller says, easy one. Johnny Blaze. Nick Cage isn't bad, but just imagine hearing Arnold grunting and groaning during the transformation with Artie. Oh,
That would be sick.
But laughing. But laughing. He's got to laugh.
It would also make the writer more intimidating. If he was a 250-pound Austrian man with a thick accent, we could also get fire puns.
Oh. You toast.
You a toast.
Flame off.
Oh my god, that would be so crazy.
Don't be such a hothead.
I was trying to think of, was there one that he said in Running Man, because he fought wasn't James Brown the was it Jim Brown? Jim Brown was the fire guy.
Who was the one? Was it the opera guy that shot flames?
Yeah,
no, that was electricity.
It was electricity guy, right? Yeah.
Fire guy was.
I don't remember. But anyway, I think it's clear that he would definitely make it better. So we can move on to our actual awards as always. We start off with the Will Patton Award for Intensity. Let's get it.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans. What are you doing with a gun in space?
Oof. All right, boys. Will Patton brought intensity to every role. Who was, although they were in this dumb Ghost Rider movie, doing it as hard as they possibly could? Nick is going to kick us off. It was a toss-up between Sam Elliott and his mustache. Just for the scene where his horse burst into flames would have been enough for my vote. However, Peter Fonda plays a very convincing and devious Mephisto. He has my vote, and I'll sign that in blood. Well put, Nick. Nice job. That's a first vote. Peter Fonda. Dave.
I think that if Will Patton didn't exist, this would be a Nick Cage award. So I can't vote for anyone else. He was as intense as Nick Cage is.
Yes.
And it almost makes everyone else look a little less intense because he's in the movie. Because him looking at Eva Mendes.
Did you catch all the looks?
Oh, yeah. His face is constantly in motion. He's like a Looney Tune, but it's damn amazing. And
It's ridiculous.
I loved it. So, yeah, Nick Cage gets my vote for sure.
I have a feeling this is going to be a close one. I think it's going to be. We'll see. Cody Sharp says, well, I can't not mention Peter Fonda, who gave an amazing performance. I have to plant my flag with Sam Elliott. He never fails to go full send on anything he does. And that scene where he tells Blaze he's unpredictable would have won him an Oscar if it were any other movie. Unfortunately, this movie wasn't even allowed in the parking lot of the Academy Awards. Nice. That's a third vote. We got Sam Elliott, Peter Fonda, Nick Cage, Ryan Farrell.
Well, I mean, Nick Cage literally lights this movie on fire.
Yeah.
And like him laughing at the monkeys is a thing. But
I was watching that too because I was like, "There's no way he can be laughing at this real like believably," and it's very believable.
Yeah.
That there is something funny happening on that screen.
Because he's a crazy person.
Nick Cage is perhaps the greatest actor of all time.
All right, hold on a second. You waited until I put jelly beans in my mouth to say that because I couldn't say anything back.
And Armageddon is the greatest movie.
That's a take. That is one of the takes of
Thank
the year.
God for you.
You almost done there?
That is going to go down as one of the things said on this podcast.
But this movie for him, it's rough. And Sam Elliott is the only actor who I think takes everything he says, and he's got the same thing that we've talked about. Like, you have the thankless chore of being expo dump guy.
Right.
And Sam Elliott still makes it work. And I can't, like the scene that the guy was just talking about, I can't really replay it in my head, but I do remember him like shaking and like his mustache is quivering. It's
because you did it for love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing.
And I'm like, wow.
Unpredictable.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Freaking Sam Elliott.
Worst lines, but I'm gonna say them anyway.
But that,
Well, that's the
exactly.
thing. It's terrible writing, but he said it hard.
The worst. Like, Nicolas Cage is taking the worst and just Nick Caging it, where Sam Elliott took the worst lines and actually made them not terrible.
Fair enough.
So I'm going Sam Elliott.
All right, well, here we go into our two at the turn. We're going to start with Matt Capps, who said, my Will Patton goes to Nick Cage, of course. He fought to be Ghost Rider and even has a tattoo. He may be a little too old for the role, in my opinion, but he still gives us the Nick Cage we expect in a movie with a wild premise. The crazy laughs and screams to the very subdued, mild nature. He hits us with everything he got for a movie with a terrible script. Nick Cage was 42 when they shot this. Was that too old for
Yes.
Yeah.
For Johnny
Rider?
Blaze,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So you know more about this than I do. Yeah. So. All right. Next up, we've got Dustin, and he says Sam Elliott. Now it's 3-2. As a caretaker, Ghost Rider, every line he delivered while supplying needed exposition. Every line, it was only exposition, Dustin. That's all he said. Felt natural and forced attention on him. So right now, we got 3 votes for Sam Elliott, 2 votes for Nick Cage, 4 votes to go. So it's still anybody's game. Mattila, who is your intensity nominee?
Nick Cage.
Oh, tie
That's
game.
correct. Because if Nick Cage is a piano, Sam Elliott is that little 4-key piano that babies had, and they're like, I'm playing piano, dink dong dink, because Sam Elliott in every movie is the same. I smoke cigarettes and drive a pickup truck, dude. Whether it's Roadhouse or a freaking salsa or truck commercial, it's the same. Well, this is important because I'm saying it with my mustache. What intensity is there? It's the same dude in every movie. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, hey, no, I agree. 3-3 then.
Yeah.
You feel all right?
Anyway, why Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
I kind of stepped right over that.
I would say because, like he was doing, like everyone wants to say he was doing Nick Cage, but legitimately, I think he's an extremely underrated actor. He obviously takes the most wild roles that are just goofy. He's done some bad acting in some movies.
Oh, he's dabbled.
yeah.
A little
For
bit.
sure.
The thing I love about putting a Nick Cage
The
movie
Wicker
on,
Man.
what you do is you go find a Nick Cage movie that's on Tubi or Pluto or one of the free apps, and you don't read the description, you barely read what the movie's called, and you just hit play. There's a chance that it's going to be one of the best movies you've seen.
Okay. All right. I don't know what.
Wow.
Bless your heart.
Wow.
Mike Sullivan says,
I agree.
what are you doing putting Johnny Blaze in this cage? Nick Cage, as the Ghost Rider, rides off to hell, or wherever a stunt cyclist goes, with the Will Patton Award from the crazy transformation scene, the albeit brief battles he has with the Fallen Angel trio. And even his final scene with Mephisto delivers an intense performance. So right now he just pulled ahead 4-3 in favor of Nick Cage.
Correct.
Yeah, Nick Cage is not great in this movie. He's really not. It's rough, dude. You got to admit, it's real rough.
It's Nicolas Cage.
I know.
It is
But
Nicolas
even for
Cage.
Nick Cage, you know.
But it has personality is the important thing. I'm going to put this way because I
This is
It does.
James. This is not about it being a good.
I know. That's why I'm thinking ultimately I'm
Okay.
going to give it to him.
Okay.
But I just want to acknowledge that I'm giving him a Will Patton Award or nominee. Really, it's an award because at this point he can't be caught. There's only 1 vote left for a terrible performance. Okay?
Yeah.
But he did it real hard.
I
Yeah.
know, but like you have to admire the commitment. This
Yeah, I absolutely
is the homeless guy on the bridge that every day you drive past.
Yes.
And he's shaking the fence and he's like, big car, little car, big car, little car. And he's crazy as hell, but you're like, look at man, that is entertaining as hell. Look at that guy. Every day he's on that fence. Big car, little car, big car, little car. And that's Nicolas Cage. He keeps going to the fence and telling you what size the cars are. And you have to love him for
He
it.
probably needs some help, but I admire that he's out here every day putting in the work of screaming out what size these cars are.
Exactly.
Right?
This is why we need hope.
It's a thankless job.
Other people that don't live their dreams out, right? He's ahead of all of them right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
know what I'm saying,
size
dude?
the cars are.
Find something that you love doing, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right. Yeah.
You'll be homeless.
Josh Miller's final vote goes to Peter Fonda, who gets a second vote. If there's one thing I've been taught, you don't have to scream to be intense. And that's true. You just have to speak in the right time and come off the right way. And Peter definitely makes the devil himself seem like a man with a deal you can't refuse. But with 5 votes overall, that means that Nick Cage is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity.
How about that?
Hey,
I'm sure.
Mr. Big Car, Little Car himself
Yes.
takes it home.
We'll have to send it to him so he can put it on his mantle next to his Oscar.
Right next to his Oscar.
Yes.
It'll probably be right there.
Yeah.
What a
I'm
place
sure.
of honor.
It should be.
That's the point when he was like, I can do anything.
Literally. The next award we give out is for the worst acting performance in the movie. Not the character you hated the most or the one that was the most useless, but who gave the worst acting performance. It's the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
Oof, it is a long time, Steven. He must have watched Ghost Rider. All right, first one is Nick Strong, and he says, for me, it has to go to Eva Mendes. Is it Ava or Eva Mendes? I don't know. As Roxanne, it felt like she phoned it in. Her acting was about as fake and flat as Nicolas Cage's dyed black hair. That was a
be-
hair piece.
To be fair,
Yeah.
she's not that good of an actress to start with.
She was palatable in this, and she doesn't have to turn on the red light.
And Nick Cage, it's true. Nice.
Get it?
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
David.
But there's a song called Roxanne. You get it?
I do get it. His hair was a hairpiece that took 3 hours every day to put on.
Oh my
Why?
gosh.
3 hours.
It looked terrible.
I don't know, because he had him.
That's 3 hours of work.
Because he had to have a Tibetan monk come in and do it with diamond encrusted
Because-
needles. Who knows? It's Nick Cage.
Because he's
Steven
been
Seagal
balding
probably
since
came in and
2003.
You think that they were trying to hide his balding?
He was balding. He had been balding.
You haven't noticed how Nick Cage's hairline moves from every movie he's in?
The question isn't if he's balding. I'm just saying that's the reasoning why he needed this hairpiece. Why not just have him be Nick Cage hair like normal?
Because it would
was
look
too old
terrible.
for
Then he
part.
would have looked
Because
really
oh yeah, because Johnny Blaze is supposed
He
to
wasn't fooling anyone with his age.
Well, Ava Mendes
With
gets the
that
first
body.
vote. Dave, who's your trash can?
Well, I have a question.
No.
Can I give it to Ghost Rider?
Give it to Nick Cage and specify that it's for that.
Fine. Then I'll do that because I'm gonna give it to Nick Cage when he's playing Ghost Rider because I hated that Ghost Rider was a quippy dum dum and that I didn't like it.
But-
he says yeehaw.
Okay.
I know, Dave, but he can't emote. He's a skull.
Okay,
he can't
fine.
have
then
facial
then
expression.
I won't give it to the fake.
This is for
flaming
the
head.
acting performance.
Okay,
not
then the
bad writing.
detective.
All
Whatever
a skull
detec-
can do is go.
Okay, all right. I asked and you said I could, but then now I did it, and now you're yelling at me
I'm
about
gonna make
it.
fun of you about it, but you could do it.
No, I'm not. I'm changing.
It's just the wrong thing to do.
You got what you want. You got my lunch money, and now I'm changing my decision, you big bullies. And I'm changing it to Detective Dickhead or whatever his name was, because he couldn't act his way out of
Also
a paper
valid.
sack.
Valid.
Yeah, terrible. So
All right, that's fine. Cody Sharp comes in and says, sadly, I have to give it to Wes Bentley. He has been a ton of other stuff, and it's normally great, but this time he just fumbled the ball. My fiance watched it with me and asked if he was reading cue cards during the biker bar scene. No, I mean, Cody, yeah, he was bad. I also don't think he knew he was there. And I'm not even saying that's a joke, like literally. I think they had to tell him later, you were in Ghost Rider. What?
Wait a minute.
What?
That Nick Cage movie?
Farrell, it's anybody's game.
Look, this movie needs a dumpster.
Yeah.
It's not just a trash can. It's multiple trash cans being dumped.
It's a shorter list to say who wouldn't get one.
This is one of those movies where, like, I know there's been some love for Peter Fonda, but I didn't think he was that great. I didn't think Wes Bentley was a great villain. I didn't think that, Detective Dickhead or whatever over there, like, he sucked. He was awful. Matt Long as young Johnny Blaze was garbage. Whatever Raquel Alicia as young Roxanne was garbage. Brett Cullen as Daddy Blaze.
Stack them bodies, Ryan.
But you know what?
Like God sort him out.
We'll say 100% what Dave was kind of about to say, and then you talked him out of. You're not talking me out of that. Ghost Rider himself was awful.
It's a skull.
Awful.
Get him, Ryan.
Everything.
It's a skull.
Farrell. Like, I can't even quote a line. I cannot quote a single line from Ghost Rider because it was all garbage.
That's a script issue. That's not an acting issue.
But who was acting it? Was it Nick Cage, who then was getting SF like sound effects over?
Preach on it.
Do you feel like the Armageddon guy and the Nick Cage's greatest actor being on your side is a good thing?
Listen, I will take my friends where I can get them. And you guys talked me out of it.
I agree it was bad, but how can he act?
But
Your soul is dirty.
do you think
You got a dirty soul.
That's right.
I just don't know an acting issue?
And you know what?
with you.
And even back to the Nick Cage thing, like there's one moment that really irks me, and that's like when he finds Mac and he goes like, "Oh, Mac."
Yeah, he really does play over that. Like, oh, that's my best friend.
He always wanted to be my friend.
So,
But
I
this,
probably should have
my,
invested it. I should have invested more in that relationship.
my girlfriend from 80 years ago showed up, though, so who cares about my best friend?
All right.
I'm giving it to Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
I'm giving it to Nick
Okay,
Cage
perfect.
as Ghost Rider.
So there's nobody that has 2 votes yet. There's 4 separate votes, right? Just want to make sure I got this right. We're going 2 into the turn. Matt Capps comes in and says, this award goes to Wes Bentley. Here's the second vote. Called on to play the role of villain very few people are aware of, and he chose to be absent. He said himself he took the role to fuel his cocaine and heroin addiction. Not once did I believe he was a real threat or think he actually wanted to accomplish anything. Matt, great take. Dustin comes in and says, Wes Bentley, starting to run away here, guys. Felt like he was being portrayed as a whiny teenager when he went into the rant of, I want it. It reminded me of a spoiled brat and took away any intimidation factor from that character. Now, there's still enough votes left that it could go another way, but he's starting to pull away here, 3-1.
Okay, so the point of this is that the actor could be replaced with a trash can full of dirt.
No. I'm saying from an acting standpoint that a trash can full of dirt could act as well as the person. Not that they could, because that's to say they could be replaced by one is to say it's the most useless character.
Okay.
Right?
Right. From an acting standpoint, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yes, I think we're saying the same thing.
Okay.
So
Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider. What you're trying to say?
The flaming trash can. The lid flaps.
I'm gonna take some heat, but I'm gonna say Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
Because it could have been a trash can that Johnny Blaze walks up to and pricks his finger on, and it's like, somehow my dad's cancer's healed. Like, I did not buy a single thing Peter Fonda was saying, and he came off as just so like, ugh.
He is a national treasure.
Not in this movie.
Easy Rider, bro.
I don't even know what that means.
Rider.
You don't know what that means.
Yuli's Gold.
This
Don't know what that
freaking
means.
millennium.
Who cares? He was trash in
He
this
sucked.
movie, too.
He
You know,
sucked.
and it's the thing is because like this is 2007, and Peter Fonda was also in 310 to Yuma this year, and he was phenomenal
Yeah.
in 310 to Yuma.
Because he's a phenomenal actor.
I'm not arguing that he's a
Oh, no,
good actor
no, no.
or not. I'm saying this role,
Peter Fonda
he
was
sucked
awful.
a donkey's wang.
Yeah.
Didn't, well,
He was
with dragon teeth.
And
I
the
think-
balls.
And
he
the
didn't go that
skull
far.
king.
He looked upon the wing with intention to suck it. I don't think he actually got as far as doing.
He was.
He reached the balls. Dude.
he was trying
but then
to
he
do.
smelled it and said, "Nah, that's a donkey."
There's so many. To me,
Not
there's so
gonna
many
trick
worse.
me
I
again.
don't. He wasn't great. There's so many worse to me. But that's fine. It's your vote.
I know.
Okay. Cool.
Can I change mine back?
Yeah.
If you want
go
to,
for
go
it.
ahead.
Nobody cares.
There's no rules here.
It's a fake
Somebody has to yell at Captain Dickhead. So I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'll
No, it's
plant
true.
my flag. On
It's true.
Sullivan deals once again a toss up since I can't give it to all three fallen angels and Wes Bentley. Here we go. Wes Bentley is a demon man baby who looks like he walked out of a Twilight audition, got spotted by the director, and recruited for this. Acted like an angsty piece of sentient wood. Or Eva Mendes as Roxanne. Yeah. She really couldn't sell making her mind up between being over Johnny, falling back in love with him, or thinking he's crazy. But I'm going with Wes Bentley because I really just felt like I really felt he just decided to study some bad teen actors and dialed it to 11. That's 4 for Wes Bentley. And guys, I am going to, as Will Patton said in Remember the Titans, leave no doubt, because I'm also going Wes Bentley. He sucked balls in this. Peter Fonda couldn't get to the donkey because Wes Bentley had it occupied. Okay, that's why it was so
Wait
bad.
your turn.
Wait your turn. I've said this like a broken record on the show. A movie's only as good as its villain, and so this has to be a big reason why this movie wasn't good. The villain was terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, bad. And somebody already said it. No threat. At no points did I feel like anyone was in danger. What were the stakes? They were non-existent.
What about Peter Fonda just being like, I'll just melt away because you said that you were going to not let me take
Well,
the
If
Ghost
he was
Rider away.
he wasn't even like the main bad guy though. I think they were trying to set him up for future sequels. But I don't think
He
that-
just.
He just sucked.
Ghost Rider says, "I'm gonna keep it," and the
Right.
damn devil goes, "Okay." He does- yeah, like
Guess there's nothing I can do about that.
well,
Sure.
you know, yeah. I don't think you can do that.
Really thought you were
They're
gonna.
trying to say that I'm putting these Ghost Riders out in the field. I didn't do this. I didn't do any of this.
All right. And finally, Josh Miller says Wes Bentley. I just didn't believe that he was the son of Satan. I always just thought he was a whiny daddy's boy who was upset that he wasn't the only one getting dad's Porsche, or he wasn't the one getting dad's Porsche. Also thought he was Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures.
Oh,
For
dude,
years.
what a pull!
That's a deep cut right there.
That is
But that
one.
means Wes Bentley's going to win
I'm not mad at that.
a trash can full of dirt award for a movie he doesn't remember doing.
You could throw a dart and hit the trash can in this movie.
100%.
Yep.
No, like I told Ryan, there'd be a shorter list of who shouldn't get it.
I can't think of anybody.
Rebel Wilson,
Sam Elliott and Rebel Wilson.
Sam Elliott.
That's the list.
That's the list.
Nicolas Cage,
Maybe.
for half,
Borderline.
when he's not
For
Ghost
half.
Rider. When he's not Ghost Rider, he's
that's
great.
fine.
He could have at one point just been like, "Not the flames."
So this is only our second episode doing our new award. For those of you that don't know, we retired the Steve James Award, the supporting actor thing that we were doing for a hot minute, and now we are just focusing on one scene wonders. And I've said before, maybe you can stretch it to 2, but if the person really wasn't in it a lot, that's the heart of the thing, that we want to give praise to people that had very little screen time and still was like, I'm crushing this with the 2 minutes that I have. The Bixby Snyder One Scene Wonder Award. Let's get it.
Oh no! It's boiling acid! I'd buy that for $1.
A lot of one scene.
Okay, USA.
Okay, USA guys.
Paper! Have you ever seen paper?
Maniac has responded with a scornful remark.
So he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass.
To me, the best one scene in a movie ever is Walken in Pulp Fiction. Rolls in,
Well
gives
done.
his watch monologue, and waltzes straight out of the movie.
Yep.
Incredible. All right. So who crushed it in their one scene that they had in this movie? And so this is a new one. The patrons might not have necessarily played along. So we will see here. See, Nick said he left it blank because he wasn't sure if they're doing it or not. So no worries there, brother. And let's just jump over. Cody Sharp, does he have one? Yeah, Rebel Wilson as Girl in Alley was definitely the standout role in the movie. Her interview was one of the few things in the movie I felt I was laughing with and not at. Also, I believe this was her first American movie. I think it was, and was a small glimpse of some of the great comedy to come from her. There's a few that I'm thinking of here. I know she probably is the odds-on favorite, but there's a few.
Well, she will get it unless I can give it to this.
Okay.
Can I give it to Cowboy Ghost Rider for that one scene where they ride really fast to
Sure.
the town of San
Sean Van Gonza.
Yes, because that was an awesome part of this movie, and that cowboy Ghost Rider is very cool for the two scenes he's in.
Yeah.
So if I can give it to Cowboy Ghost Rider, I will.
We'll give it to Cowboy Ghost Rider.
All right.
Let's do it. That's 1-1 so far. Matt Caps comes in and says, my one-scene wonder is Rebel Wilson. She stepped in to play a goth chick and played the part well, including the little wave and arm gesture. Honorable mention goes to the waiter who shrugs off Eva Mendes. That was one of the guys I was thinking of. He's like, I don't know. She isn't the most attractive woman he has served at his restaurant. So there's three that I'm thinking of, but so far 2 of them have been named. Yeah. Farrell, who's your one scene wonder?
It's easily Rebel Wilson.
Okay.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts for me. And the fact that I didn't remember she was in the movie at all. And then watching it last night, and I was like, no friggin' way. And then knowing her career now and seeing her literal one scene, I was like, that's
she's already doing her thing.
She's doing her thing. She's an unknown doing her thing.
That she would become famous for.
Exactly. Right. And to me, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, like I said, I think she's probably the odds-on favorite here. Dustin Marin comes in and says, Ryan Johnson as the waiter. Oh, look at the second vote for the waiter. The way he delivers the news that she's not pretty is the most unrealistic thing in a movie that's about the devil's bounty hunter that can ride a motorcycle up a building.
That's good.
That's good for sure.
That's good.
So it's 3-2 right now. Mattila?
I'm going with the waiter.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. But you still haven't got the third one.
Not the third one yet. I'm going to give the third one as my vote, so I guess mine will be a throwaway. But you're going with the waiter?
Yep.
That's a great delivery of
Yeah. I had him written down, and I was like, it's got to be him. And then when he showed up for the second Matt, when he did Matt, I was like, it's 2 scenes. Oh no.
No, it's basically one. It just got back to it, but it's still the same scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also Australian.
Yeah. So, you know what? We're going to give this vote. So, Michael Sullivan gave it to Sam Elliott, who was in a lot of scenes. But if we're just going to say it's for the Flaming Ghost Rider, like David did over here, he goes, I only wish you could have stuck around to fight alongside Blaze before riding off into the sunset. Technically sunrise, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So, we'll say that's a second vote for Flaming.
Yeah.
He did a thing.
I don't think he meant it that way, but that's the way we're going to take it.
Yes,
you have another friend, Dave.
It's 3-3. Mine is not going to break the tie because I'm going with guy in jail cells. Like, I paid $10 to see you splat.
Yeah.
He was going. He was like, "This is my scene. I'm going to go so hard." And it was just like,
I got Ghost Rider's jacket on.
That's right.
Yep.
I thought that guy went for it, knowing full well he had 2 lines of dialogue and his only chance with Nick Cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I thought he was great.
Yeah,
and corny, but the guy went hard, and that's what I appreciate. So that was my third. And then finally, Josh Miller. So he votes for somebody that's not eligible, Donald Logue as Mac. So he's probably, which is not a knock against him. He probably thought we were still doing the old version of the award, which he wouldn't know. So no problem there. Which means that me and you have got to, because who did you vote for?
Cowboy.
We got to break this tie. So if we had to pick between the waiter or Rebel Wilson, which would you be picking?
I will pick Rebel Wilson because I think it's nonsense for someone to go to Ava Mendes.
I was also going to go Rebel Wilson, so we're just going to go ahead and shout out to the waiter. That was great, but Rebel Wilson's going to win. Only the second ever Bixby Snyder One Scene Wonder Award.
That's awesome.
Congrats to her. All right, guys. So it's time to land the plane. Or pull the bike into the station, whatever, the train station. I'm back on the train Ghost Rider thing again. What are our final thoughts on this movie? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good, bad, 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 good, good? All of it's on the table, and we're going to start with Josh Miller. Actually, no, we're going backwards here. So let me go back to Nick Strong. This movie objectively is a bad movie, but subjectively, this movie is an odd part of my childhood, having grown up watching Daredevil and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It still holds an oddly nostalgic piece of my childhood and kept me entertained every time I watched it. Maybe a little cringy here and there now that I'm older, but I have to give it a much coveted bad movie that rules. Happy to be one of the new patrons and loving the Discord as well. Wish I was able to do it sooner. I love the show. Been listening to you guys and gals in my commute to work. Looking forward to Friday because I have your show to keep me entertained. Thanks, man. He goes, hot babe, she might not have been the best actress, but damn sure she is the best looking Eva Mendes all day. All right, so it's our first vote in as a BMR. Dave, I'm sure you have complicated feelings about Ghost Rider, but here's your chance to let them all out.
Okay. You want to know what's stupid? This movie. And I am not sure if this is they did it so good. They do it so good now. And now that these older movies look like crap to me. But watching this today, I was like, damn it. Because when I was a kid watching this, or when this first came out, I was like, yeah, that's Ghost Rider. That's okay. There's demons and a motorcycle. He rode up the building. But now that I've seen it done well, I'm just disappointed in this, and my nostalgia goes away. And it's so close. It is that donkey's dick hair away from being a bad movie that rules, but it's not. It's bad movie, full stop.
This poor donkey is getting worked over by a lot of donkey.
Wait your turn. I just need a hair. It's a bad movie.
All right. With pain in your heart, it seems.
It does, because it's still fun for me to watch, and it's still Nicolas Cage chewing the scenery. So I still have a good time watching it. But as far as
I got you
saying it rules, I can't do it.
Cody Sharp also gave the Hot Babe Award. I didn't even do the Hot Babe Award for this because there's no competition.
Right.
It's just Eva Mendes. No offense to Rebel Wilson, but there's not a lot of women in this movie. Right? But he does say, Cody says, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, by the way, this movie holds a special place in my heart. I watched it in Iraq with my crew inside our tank on an LT. That's crazy, man. That's awesome. While it's far from winning any awards, it's providing us with some much needed entertainment and a small escape from the shithole we were in. Nostalgia aside, I've rewatched it with my kids and we've always been entertained. I'm going to have to firmly plant on the mountain of bad movie that rules. Wow. Cody, first of all, thank you for your service. Second of all, thank you for being on the show and supporting the show on Patreon, man. We appreciate you, brother. All right, Farrell, to follow Cody, time for you to expunge all of your feelings.
Well, I love Nicolas Cage.
We're aware now a lot.
I would see most movies just because Nicolas Cage is in it. This movie is so horrible. It is so boring. It is so horribly written, terribly acted, but yet the visual effects are actually relatively well rendered for a film from 2007. It's a confusing pile of shit is what this movie is.
I've had those.
Why is this here?
Like, there's the Nicolas Cage doing his Nicolas Cage thing, and it's hilarious. And then there's Nicolas Cage sucking, and then there's everyone else sucking, and then there's a screenplay that sucks. This movie is one of the worst movies of all time.
Wow.
Because this is how it classifies. You could be a bad movie. You could know you're a bad movie. You could be a low-budget movie, and you can be, Laser Blast terrible. Yeah, it's a low-budget, crappy film from the 70s. This movie had $110 million. Not only could it not land the plane, it couldn't shoot the plane down. It couldn't hit the plane. The plane never took off. No. I hate this film so much, and I remember seeing it in theaters in 2007 and thinking to myself, meh, that really was disappointing. It wasn't that good. And I haven't watched it for 13, how many years ago?
18 years.
8. I haven't watched it for 18 years. And then I thought to myself, you know what? It'd be fun to revisit that movie because I love everybody involved.
Yeah.
Gave it another shot. Wow. I hate it so much.
I feel like pent up rage from you.
Yes, because I love Nicolas Cage so much, and I would rather watch Captain Corelli's mandolin than this film ever again.
Wow. So bad movie that rules?
Or full stop.
So
Good movie.
Just
Good movie that sucks.
we're bad bad that sucks.
All right.
Bad movie that sucks.
Can I ask-
needs to burn in hell.
A clarifying question.
Yes.
What exactly is a confusing pile of crap? Is that like if you found one in your refrigerator and then be, like what is a confusing one?
To me, maybe when it's like a multicolored.
Okay. All
Or
right.
it's like
that would be confusing.
when it's like Reese's peanut butter puffs.
All right.
It's two-toned.
I've had them where like I say I didn't remember that.
Right. You look at it, you're like, when was the last time I had corn?
Right.
Wasn't last night.
Right.
I didn't have a salad since the 80s. Where's that lettuce?
Why does it look like a salad? Man, oh man. I've been there, man. I've been one that I've been in there where if you unfurled the whole thing, it'd be taller than me. Okay.
Did you take a picture?
He broke a toilet seat. Okay.
I did, man.
This was long
All
ways. It coiled.
It did.
Came up as bad.
Coiled and came.
Had to stand up off it.
Matt Capps coming in with his final rating here, and he says, lifelong comic book and movie fan, but it has been more than a few years since I've watched this movie. I'm so glad this is one of the last movies before the start of the MCU with Iron Man because it's not good. However, midway through the movie, I changed my mind on the rating. The inclusion of Sam Elliott as caretaker changed the course of the movie. From that point on, the movie was fun and took on a little more of a Western theme. Also, at that point, there was more Ghost Rider and less of everything else. For all of its faults, bad acting, and also bad writing, this movie is still a bad movie that rules. I think every patron right now has gone BMR on their rating. And then we'll see if Dustin Merrim is going to be any different. He says it's a Marvel movie before the MCU. It was just as much entertainment value. This movie is easily rewatchable and I believe should be considered a good movie, full stop.
What?
You're
That's a
drunk.
What? Take.
What movie had these people been watching? I've watched the extended cut and it sucks.
Oh, that's why you're so angry. You had to do more of it than we did.
Man, I watched the extended cut just to verify because, sometimes you get the better director's
sure.
cut, but nope.
No. Dustin, you like what you like, man. I don't understand it, but I respect your ability to like whatever you want to watch. Go watch Ghost Rider again, man. Mattila, your final thoughts on Ghost Rider.
This movie has all of the issues. And every scene that I watched, I was like, I don't like that. That's not good. Why would they do that? Who edited this? Why did that actor do that? No.
Why is Sam Elliott doing the same thing again?
So by the end of the movie, somehow I'm still stuck with going, there is no reason, but I like this. And I don't want to like it. But it has this je ne sais quoi of there is nothing there, but there's something. I don't know.
What the French call a certain, I don't know what.
Yes. Thank you. It's a bad, horrible, terrible movie that rules. I don't know why. I'm confused. I love it. I'm scared and confused.
You need to be held.
Go to your room.
And watch Ghost Rider again.
Mike Sullivan says, having seen this film a few times, I do enjoy the attempt at delving into the darker Marvel characters, but it does have some disappointing moments. The fallen angel trio that show up, stand around for a few minutes and get killed nearly immediately after encountering Ghost Rider. Blackheart becoming Legion, but ensuring he could now be killed by Ghost Rider. Moron. And Roxanne being all over the place makes this a bad movie that rules for me. Michael, the plot hole finder, Sullivan. And we'll have Josh Miller's last one here. He says, when I was a kid, I loved this movie because it's Ghost Rider. He sounds like you. Who doesn't love Ghost Rider? Well, 24-year-old me likes it less than 8-year-old me. That's for damn sure. I'm going to have to go 6 out of 10. It still has good visuals for the mid-2000s. The scene with the final ride is amazing, and the pen and stare scenes aren't too bad either. I'm going to assume by that 6 out of 10, he probably means bad movie that rules because he doesn't specify on here. But I'm going to give that as another BMR.
Who was that?
I already clicked off it. That was Josh Miller.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he on He's on Patreon.
have
Is
to
he
be.
on Discord?
I don't know if he's on Discord or not.
We have to get him on there so that he's the youngest person on there.
No, yeah, there you go.
Because I think
Right now you are probably.
no, it's Adam. I think.
Maybe. This movie is terrible. It made me angry. I was sitting there watching it just going like there every wrong decision that you could make, you made. From a writing standpoint, from the yeehaw to having the guy right out there with him and then not helping him at the end, all this stuff. It's from a script standpoint, they made every wrong decision, and maybe it's just they didn't know yet how to do this right, but they figured it out 1 year later. I can't give them that much of a break. It's bad. It's really bad. Why do I like it?
Oh, come on.
We are split here, guys.
Hills, what is happening?
I think here's what it is. I think here, and I'll be honest with you, because it's as you put it, a donkey hair close. I'm just on the other side of that hair from you because it's real close. But I think the thing that puts it over the top is Nick Cage and his laughing transformation and his like the stare and the smoldering looks over at Eva Mendes and the 5-finger pointing. It's so funny to me that I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But it sucks. So it does. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I guess.
I have to go bad movie that rules.
Okay.
But I think it's terrible. But it's also hilarious to me. So that's where I'm at on this one, guys.
So, confusing pile of
It's very confusing because I don't understand my own feelings about this movie. I have to just chalk it up to I laughed. I told you when the dust guy showed up, I laughed out loud. I had a great time watching this movie for all of the wrong, unintended reasons. You know, as many of these bad movies we talk about. So I'm going bad movie that rules on this one, boys.
Man.
Sorry.
I love the lap dance. I love the lap dance of I hated it. I hated it. I
do.
hated it. But
It's true,
In case you didn't see it when I stuck it in your face, but
Yes.
exactly.
Well, look, let's move on. I mean, as much as I did laugh at it and enjoy it, I do want to move on from Ghost Rider. And so next week, we'll be talking about a whole other movie from 1995. I think you're coming back 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, sir.
You'll be here for this one. We're talking about Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Yeah. The 1995, the original, the OG. They got another new one coming out, I think, right?
Yeah.
But we're not getting into those yet. We're talking about the original Mortal Kombat with frickin' Shang Tsung and the girl from Billy Madison is in there.
The OGs.
Veronica Vaughn.
Yep.
Goro made out of claymation. I mean, it's going to be
It's so good.
awesome.
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, because they couldn't get Van Damme. They got this other guy, and he was there.
It's for the video game.
That's right.
You know,
yeah.
he was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It was
I'm
supposed to
excited.
be a Jean-Claude Van Damme video game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I wonder if they tried to get him for the movie though. I wonder if they did or not.
Maybe. Yeah.
But he was already busy doing Street Fighter, so they're like, we can't have him
he
do
can't be in both.
Mortal Kombat. Right.
He was in a lot.
I know, back in the day. So join us next week, and we're going to have fun diving into that 1995 classic. Boys, it's been a pleasure talking about Ghost Rider with you. I wouldn't have wanted to go through this with anybody else. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Ryan. Brian? No. Dave?
No. Keep an eye out
Dave,
for Samurai
Ryan,
Movie
Dave.
Jam as well.
That's
Yes.
right. Coming to a podcast feed near you. Let's go. Nope, that's not right. Let's go.
Let's go now.
his name is Johnny Blaze. Now he's riding his motorcycle. He whistles without some lips.
You don't have to show so much of your boobs. But you might want to lay off the booze.
He rode a flaming horse. Chisholm. They're going to be so mad we brought that back.
Yeah. How does he whistle?
It's his butt cheek.
Shh. That's what it should sound like. Is shh.
Yeah.
Just air moving through teeth.
All right.
How does he have air? He doesn't have lungs.